And welcome back, everyone, to a fantastic new year and a fantastic new tournament for you. Today we are doing the UBC Esports Tricky Towers tournament for the Winter Series.
Yeah, very nice to see everyone here for the for our first Tetris, or I guess Tetris related event of the year, the Cool Tricky Towers tournament. I'm Bradley. You may know me as Zoe. Is the name down there? And I am joined by very good friend.
My name's Cowbell. I do some Tetris stuff, and I've played Tricky Towers at least 3 times, so I'm so ready to commentate this tournament.
Yeah. And some people might be thinking, what actually is Tricky Towers? So Tricky Towers, very similar to Tetris. All the blocks are the same, except you're not clearing lines. You're trying to build a tower, and there are physics involved. Like the blocks will actually fall from the screen instead of like coming down, slowly. And I think we'll see some very wacky things today, Cowbell.
Absolutely.
Me personally, I'm very excited to watch some high-level Tricky Tower gameplay because, as like a lot of people might know, for Tricky Towers, it's like a very popular streamer game. Like a lot of popular streamers will play it for fun, but we might definitely see some Tricky Tower tryhards today. So
I have personally played against some of these players, and I can say for sure that the skill level is just absolutely through the roof. I don't even know how people move this fast. But, we'll save it for the actual games. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great stuff in store for all of you waiting to see some Tricky Towers gameplay.
All right. And for our bracket, we're going to be doing a round-robin bracket today. And our first match, I believe, will be between... what was it again? Pikamu and Ted Baker on the Battlefy?
I think so. Yeah. Let me pull up the bracket. Let's see. Can I even see the bracket in here? Oh shoot.
Should be on the Battlefy.
I might have a skill issue, but who doesn't have a skill issue is the participants for sure. All right. Yeah. We're good. All
right. I mean, I guess while we're waiting for the first match, we can talk about the different modes in Tricky Towers. So Tricky Towers actually has 3 different modes, that being race, survival, and puzzle. And all those modes have different ways you want to win. And I think we're going to be seeing the very different intricacies of each mode. For example, race mode, you want to stack as high as possible, as fast as possible. Survival, you want to drop as few blocks as possible. And puzzle, you want to stack as many blocks on the screen as possible.
Absolutely. I will say survival might be a little bit more geared towards playing safe. Because, for example, I've played against some Tricky Towers people, and they'll just, blitz out survival, and they're done all their pieces, and I'm trying to play slow, and then they already win because they finished. So there's definitely going to be some alternate strategies that we could be seeing.
Yeah, of course. Definitely going to see a lot of there's definitely a balance, between playing safe, so you don't die in these game modes, but also playing fast, race and survival are.
Absolutely. I will say, welcome to the chat, Jangmu, Frejo, and Bad Goblin. Bad Goblin says, "Sup, I'm Bad Goblin from the Modern Stacker scene, here to support our man Cabo and check out how competitive Tricky Towers plays." Yeah, thank you so much for dropping by. Really appreciate the support, and hopefully the gameplay will be even more fire than Bad Goblin's puns in the commentary, but we'll see.
Indeed. Big fan of Bad Goblin. Of course, commentator with Cowbow in the Tetris World Cup last year.
All right. Oh, I think we are actually getting into the actual game here. This is exciting. Oh, man. I don't know. It's tough because I don't know either of these 2 players. And there's also not really a ranking system as far as I'm aware. So I don't... Is there ranked?
I don't think so.
I don't think... Okay, yeah. So we can't really judge before we've seen. So no stats to look at like Tetrio. But as soon as it starts up, we're going to see who is here to win it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the format of these matches is going to be a Super Cup in Tricky Towers. That would be first to 18 points. With 1 win, you get 3 points, and with a loss, you get 2 points. So if someone sweeps, it's going to be 6 matches, but hopefully you see more than that.
Absolutely.
And also, so here's the thing about Tricky Towers, right? Like we've said before, not really a competitive game, if you think about it. And so there aren't really any real ways to spectate other than just having someone else in the lobby to look at the game. So that's actually how we're doing it this time.
It might be a bit scuffed. Yeah, as we see, our contestant on the left, Plu, topping out her board with extreme speed to spectate the game. So the actual participants are going to be on the right-hand side for this one.
Yeah, thank you to our lovely Tetris director, our professional observer, for figuring out how to actually stream this game. And yeah, we're getting right into the puzzle mode. This is an easy puzzle mode, so it's going to be, each player is going to have this lightning bolt magic, as you can see above their heads, and they'll be able to use this to remove one block from their board once during this place. And as I said before, for those who don't know, puzzle mode is a mode where you want to stack as many blocks as possible without touching that line at the top. And as you can see on Ted Baker's board here, if you drop a block over the side, it'll push your board up. So definitely not in a good position, and yeah, Peekaboo gonna take this first round pretty solidly here.
Yeah, so it just kind of counts up the blocks, and whoever's able to stack more is going to be the winner. And as we said before, the physics-based engine in this game makes for some really, really interesting gameplay, because you have to compensate for, like, you know, not just stack health, but also make sure that it's like, you know, if it's leaning too much towards one side, it will like quite literally fall over, which is something you would never see in a Tetris game. Yeah, coming into survival here, players are going actually pretty fast so far, trying to keep stack health good, as we said before, but it seems like neither player has much of an advantage so far.
Yeah, the balance in survival mode is between stack health and speed. As you can see at the top of the screen, there are counters for how many blocks each player has left, and the goal of the game is to get those counters down to 0 before the other player and before you lose all your lives, because in survival mode, dropping blocks will also punish you by taking away some of your lives. As you can see, Peekaboo already lost 1 life earlier, but around a block ahead, not too much of a lead for either player. But yeah, it's looking tough over there on Ted Baker's board. The tower not looking very stable, and having a stack like that when you're still 52 blocks away from winning could be very dangerous.
Oh no, a huge, catastrophic misdrop on Ted Baker's side caused their entire stack to plummet to the ground. They're at 1 heart now. They're really gonna have to pick it up if they want to survive, and I don't think it's looking good for them.
Yeah, the difficulty of survival at the special difficulty is that every once in a while there's going to be a new wave, and with those waves are going to be some dark magic debuffs that each player will receive. And the one you saw there was the one that turns their blocks into like large structures, and unfortunately Ted Baker's board not really equipped to handle that. So Peekaboo taking another one.
Peekaboo pulling out the domain expansion for that. Okay, both players getting some serious plonk right now, really thinking about how best to put the pieces in. It seems like there's a lot of holes for blocks to go into, and depending on how they place it, they can put other blocks on top of them.
Yeah, indeed. This is the special difficulty of the puzzle game mode. What's interesting about this difficulty is that there's no magic for each player, so it's all about the block placement, and the fact that the towers will have these notches in them. Now, the importance of these notches is that in tricky towers, you can either move left and right normally, like you would in like another block stacking game, but there's also nudging, which moves it an entire block left or right.
Well, I can assure you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I have no idea what joke you're about to make.
No, I was gonna say, I'm sure that it's not gonna be an easy ground for both these players.
Okay, never mind.
First fun of 2024, let's go! Any fun enjoyers in chat?
Anyways, but yeah, the advantage of nudging is that this is what allows you to like slide blocks into like these notches on the side. Normally you wouldn't be able to do that if you're just moving left or right. So you can think about it as like in a Tetris game, if the block is about to hit the floor, or like it lands on the floor and you have like a split second to like tuck it under a piece, similar to that.
Absolutely. Honestly, they're sliding the blocks in even better than Dewey slides into people's DMs. Sheesh.
I don't even know where that one came from, honestly.
I woke up like 30 minutes ago. My bad.
I can tell.
But honestly, both these players are fully awake and ready to play here. It seems like Peekaboo might have the advantage, but it's looking really, really close so far.
Yeah, honestly, a very creative stack on the side of Ted Baker. Almost set up for a T-spin on the left there.
The T-spin? Oh my god. Okay, someone does a T-spin in Tricky Towers, I think they just win.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was possible.
I don't know if it's possible. I feel like Tricky Towers, a very realistic game with a physics engine. And as we just saw there, a block falling over due to the center of mass not being correct on Peekaboo's side. So if there's any game mode for how for Ted Baker to catch up. It's probably right here.
Yeah, Ted Baker really trying to cook their opponents here with the stacking. Honestly, I think that Baker's stack is looking a little bit more solid than Pikamu's so far. But it's, like I said, it's so close that I truly cannot tell right now.
Yeah, but like if you look over there, the right side of Pikamu's tower, looking a bit precarious, don't you think? Like that T-piece almost looks like it's about to pop out at any moment.
Yeah, it looks like a really tricky tower, right?
Okay. Honestly, like someone should do a counter for how many times they make a tricky tower joke during
No,
this,
no, I don't want to do more than one. I'm going to die. Oh, I don't know if that works on Pikamu's side. Oh
no!
no!
On the left side. Very
I don't
precarious.
see any other places.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna end the run for Pikamu there.
Ooh, Ted Baker's going to... Honestly, this is a really clean stack. Super flat, too. That is one thing that carries over from Tetrio into Tricky Towers. A flat stack is always really nice. You don't really need to have, you know... like, holes don't matter, but as long as it's flat, that's good.
Yeah, flat and stable. And as long as you've, like, got the basics of stacking from those other block stacking games, you can do a lot of work.
Is that why I'm bad at Tricky Towers? I just don't have my block stacking fundamentals. Oh! Ted Baker pulling through with their first victory of the afternoon here. Very solid. 19 blocks. Also, Bad Goblin's note, it's interesting that the observer causes the loser of the round to get the second place points instead of third, and it makes comebacks more feasible. That's totally why we're doing this. Oh my god, Plu misdropping all of our pieces off the side and instantly topping herself out. That's crazy.
Yeah. The other thing is though, if you were to play a normal two-player Tricky Tower match, they would actually still get the second place points anyways. So
oh, okay, good to know.
The observer being there doesn't actually make a difference in that regard, but yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of observers, we're going to be observing some very clean stacking from Pikamu here. I quite like this. It seems like it's a little bit worse for on the other side, but, you know, could work out.
Yeah, and noticing that Pikamu there, using the Trowel ability to turn one of their blocks into stone. The Trowel ability, or the stone ability, we might be referring to that with different things throughout this commentary, as they don't actually have official names. But
how about
most powerful ones?
Let's call it Jerry.
Jerry, yeah, the Jerry ability.
Okay, Jerry. All right, there we go.
Yeah, definitely one of the most powerful abilities in this game, because it creates a solid block that ignores gravity, and having like this extra block can really help you out.
Do that one block, just a I'd win. It just didn't care, man.
Yeah, and speaking of, well, not winning, because
the full-on tower collapse, but it doesn't even matter because, oh my god, Pikachu unfortunately topping out at the not opportune moment for the comeback here.
I thought Pikachu had that one, but Ted Baker's tower collapsed just slightly slower, so Pikachu does end up winning. Ted Baker, sorry, does end up winning.
It's kind of tough not having the names, not gonna lie.
Well, they're on the stream where everyone can see, so
yeah.
It's not too bad. Oh,
I'm stupid. I did not see that. But who's not stupid are both of these players going for some pretty clean stack. It seems like Ted Baker does have the I don't want to say speed advantage because it's not really an advantage, but they have a head start in the stacking here.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Honestly, in puzzle mode, it's kind of a disadvantage because then the other player gets to see what you're doing ahead of time.
God, I've had people just sit there and freaking wait for me to put down pieces, and then they're like, that's a good place. Oh, never mind, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I do believe in other modes you don't have a you don't get the same queue, but in puzzle you definitely do. And oh, that was definitely an awkward placement for Ted Baker there, dropping the J piece over the edge.
Over the what? the what?
Only the Tetrio players are gonna get that one.
Oh god. I think that the stacking on Ted Baker's side with the Vine ability is looking divine right there because it's fully supporting the rest of the stack, unlike Pikamu's board. But I mean, it's still close to both players.
Yeah, but that tuck isn't quite right either because like if you look closely at that O piece, it's actually a half. Or it's only like half over the I piece instead of a full block over, and that's gonna make it so that no nudge actually like will put a piece properly in. So he attempted it twice, but both times the J piece fell. and I think Pikamu will take this one.
No, honestly, I respect the effort. If you never try, you can never win, right? You know, you gotta push the boundaries. But it seems like Pikamu is going to be pushing the score higher up in their favor so far.
Indeed, Pikamu now very close to winning. He just needs to win one, and then they'll be able to close it out.
Survival easy. Okay, for this one, the strat could definitely be to just try to stride out all the pieces and place them as fast as possible.
Indeed.
Because as soon as the timer runs out, not timer, the block counter, you're just good, you know.
Yeah, comparatively, the easy difficulty for survival only has half the blocks that medium and special do. And additionally, in easy mode, there is no dark magic available for each player. Dark magic, of course, being any item that allows you to negatively impact an opponent's board. As you can see, when you do reach that power-up line, you get a light magic instead.
Oh no, the
In this
vine
case,
on
getting a
Pikamu's
vine.
side completely falling. Wait, did it work out? I don't know. I think Pikamu's a little.
So what the vine power up does is your next block gains vines, and it'll attach itself to any other blocks to make it more solid. That being said, what is not really solid right now is Pikamu's stack. Very precarious looking. Could fall over at any moment. Can they get the extra life in
Oh
time?
no,
No, they can't.
the extra life would have saved them, but unfortunately, it seems like Ted Baker's actually making the comeback here.
Yeah, definitely cooking up a comeback victory here. They're gonna tie up the score here, and it's anyone's game. Whoever wins the next round will take this Super Cup.
I think Observer's gonna take it. Komi Store in chat says I'd probably lose to Observer. Me too.
Oh, and race special. Honestly, my most hated game mode. This game mode is very, very devious.
Honestly, the most difficult part about this one is gonna be the winds, because, you know, absolute storms brewing on the boards and in the weather so far, as you really have to compensate for your stack. As you can see, the rain is blowing towards the right, so participants might be wanting to stack more towards the left to compensate for that.
Yeah, definitely something you need to consider is like the order you place down your pieces. If you place down a piece tall on the left side without something to block it on the right side, it could completely blow over and your tower could be ruined.
You know, honestly, the stacking on Pikamu's board is blowing me away so far. It's so flat and so clean.
Exactly. Like, this is the kind of stack you want to see in a dangerous race like this. In Race Easy, where the finish line is closer to the players, and you can afford to go faster and unsafe, like, that's what you would want to be doing. But in this game mode, like, obviously, there's a lot of risk involved. And as you can see on Ted Baker's board,
oh no,
the unsafe stack is not paying off at all. But he did get a Jerry power up here, which allows him to
Jerry power up. Is it canon? Is it canon? Jerry is the rock thing?
Well, I mean,
honestly, it's a solid name. It's a solid name.
Yeah, solid, just like Pikamu's stack. But as I say that, the LP slightly whiffs on that drop, and yeah, that stack is no longer stable at all. The Dark Magic Bubble power up coming from Ted Baker's side, not going to be too effective, but I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, it does look really rough for Ted Baker, but you know, in this windy mode, anything can happen, and you know, if your stack isn't completely solid, it can all come tumbling down. So you never know when the comeback happens.
Yeah, but again, Pikamu's stack is really solid. We can see, like, if you look further down, a lot of connected lines, but actually,
wait, Pikamu's stack, like, do you see them in the middle? The kind of, it's like a slight jagged line and kind of moved over, but it seems like Pikamu's trying to compensate for that, putting more blocks onto the left here, and it could pay out for them.
Indeed. But definitely they're either hoping for like a stronger power up here or hoping to get the win right now, actually. The finish line coming down. Not
it's
quite
so
enough, but they're very close.
Pikamu's almost there. Honestly, Ted Baker could hit the... Oh, wait! And it seems like Pikamu is going to be the winner for this round. The winder. Get it? Like the... like the...
Okay.
Anyways, back to the game. They just clutched it out.
Pikamu takes this one.
Holy.
Takes this one.
See, it was well timed. It was well timed. They are the winner. Oh man.
Yeah, very good showing there from Pikamu. Very solid stacking in that last survival round. They're able to deal with all those dark magics.
Oh my god, Bonimi in chat says they blew away the competition this round. So true.
Yeah. Always nice to see like a close game of Tricky Towers. That was definitely, 4 wins and 3 losses for Pikamu. Like very, very close round, but they were able to close it out in the race survival. And honestly, that's definitely one one of the most skilled game modes. So very good on them.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like these special game modes are just kind of hell to play. But truly, it just pushes both players to mean that, only the best player is going to win, because it's just so difficult to either, I don't know, stack with freaking wind everywhere, or the worst one, in my opinion, is survival special, which is just ridiculous with the amount of debuffs they throw at you. But yeah, honestly, both those players really made some huge comebacks, and adapted to different things getting thrown at them. So well played to both.
Indeed. And I do believe since we are doing first to 2 Super Cup wins, we're going to be playing another Super Cup between these two to see who takes this first round robin round. That sounds very weird to say.
Round robin round. Wouldn't it just be round? I don't know. I think we're going around in circles for this one.
Yeah, and hopefully we go back around to another game between these two soon. Honestly, pretty close match.
Right. Let's see what else there is. I don't know who's coming up next on stream matches, but I mean, Doey, in your opinion, what do you think contributed the most to Pikamu's victory for this round?
I mean, honestly, a lot of those solid stacking fundamentals, like you said, might transfer over from other block stacking games, and definitely stacking in a more stable manner helped, especially during that last round. And I do think Pikamu was playing the puzzle game as well, additionally, but yeah, I think very close games. I honestly, both players pretty evenly matched in those departments. Yeah.
I know maybe we see a bracket reset. Is it double Elim actually? I don't know.
I think it's first to 2, so
oh, first to 2. Okay,
we should be running another one very soon. And yeah.
Oh my gosh, I see.
Getting into it now. Ted Baker and Pikamu now having switched sides, but
that's
still remember which player is which. Pikamu running the Easter colored blocks, so.
Yeah, running the Easter blocks because they are egging on the competition to play even faster here.
And yeah, as we can see, like stated, and we did see in the previous round, Pikamu stacking very solid, especially during these races. And as you can see here, the way they stack, a lot of holes in the stack. Now, normally if you were playing Tetris, this would not be a good stack at all because you need to clear blocks. But in this game, you don't need to clear blocks, so making holes in the stack can actually help like propel you up further and faster. So
absolutely, yeah.
Definitely something to watch out for during race. But a slight misdrop on that side, but still looking completely fine.
Honestly, Observer's going kind of crazy with this one.
Yeah, Observer right now actually in second place. Very impressive from the Observer. AFK strategy, putting in the work.
It seems like Pikamu could just close us out here. Huge Vine play, almost at the top of their board, but I don't know. I don't know if there is any way for Ted Baker to come back unless they just go at like 15 PPS as fast as they can. Could happen though.
Yeah, good power up could do it. Pikamu choosing to play safe. Honestly, when you have this much of a lead, not a bad idea, but yeah, the eyepiece vertically should just put them over the edge.
But not quite,
barely.
as it was a little bit too much of a gamble, trying to do the eyepiece again, and this time it does close out the first round for Pikamu.
Yeah, no way for Ted Baker to climb up there, even with the island power up. Fortunately, the stack just not stable enough to propel themselves towards the finish line.
Honestly, the biggest part of these things can be the start, because if you already start it with a misdrop piece where it's flipped over, it's just so hard to stack anything on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. Every they say every building needs a solid foundation, and sometimes if you don't have that solid foundation at the start of the round, it could like really screw you over the later rounds. Just like how there Pikamu dropped the piece over the edge. Unfortunate placement, but even more unfortunate is that eye piece on Ted Baker's side. You can see the S piece on the left there not slotted in properly, improper half block.
Also, Bad Goblin says, interesting choice by Ted to half shift the S for Ted. Yeah, so that's another thing that's different about Tricky Towers compared to things like Tetrio, is that you can have blocks that are slightly shifted, and you can't always put them like directly where you want it. You have to, oh god, speaking of putting things where you want it, Ted Baker not doing what they wanted, with a stack toppling over on their left side. Oh, this is catastrophic.
Yeah, the disastrous.
Oh no!
Disastrous showing over there. So many blocks falling over the side. That one extra half block definitely not doing them any favors.
Oh, Ted Baker! No. Oh. Yeah, they're really making like Evangelion as it all comes tumbling down. But Pikamu is going to be taking their second round right here.
Tying with the Observer. They're very, very good round for the Observer, I suppose.
Yeah, shoutouts to Observer and Production, Plu in the background, tearing it up in Tricky Towers. It's just WTF soft.
Yeah, but now going into the race normal, I think the normal modes are generally like the most balanced modes with light and dark magic available for both players when they reach one of those power-up lines. And they're usually not as stridey as easy modes.
Wait, what? Big Joe in chat? I've just queued into Big Joe in the UBC Esports chat. I take a sip of my water I've prepared for this minute. Sorry, back to the video, my bad. Seems like it's pretty even between both players, even though Pikamu is still in first. Oh, never mind. They're not in first. It is truly neck and neck with both players, but I think the Pikamu has the slightly stronger stack at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Just like in Tetris, you know, if you make your stack too jagged, you can't accommodate things very well, but actually Pikamu using the Vine power-up to great effect there. Again, like I said earlier, Vine will attach nearby blocks to each other and placing that O piece on top and then connecting it with the S piece below using that L piece, or sorry, J piece with the Vine. Very good play, but will it pay off? That tower looking extremely dangerous. Sorry, it's Ted Baker on the left side. They switched places. I got mixed up with it.
Oh no, Ted Baker's stack tumbling straight to the ground as Pikamu's wider stack is accommodating a lot more pieces and causing for a more stable foundation here.
Indeed. Very, yeah, we've definitely seen this from Pikamu throughout these races, and wow, getting the trowel there to create a stone block might help them out even further.
I don't know, Pikamu is getting real close towards the top here, and Ted Baker's stack is still looking a little bit thin here. I don't know if it'll... Oh no, Ted Baker's stack tumbling down all the way down to the halfway point of the board, but this does give them an opportunity to perhaps widen their stack and try to get more pieces on it, because I think it's a little bit too thin to
yeah,
to
an absolute tragedy from Ted Baker's side. When you're this behind in race mode, there's a chance that the game will give you a golden power-up as we see there. So the golden trowels will give you a series of stone blocks you can place, which will boost you up really high. The golden dark magic would do a ton of debuffs on your opponent, but I think the unfortunate thing is here, Pikamu's already up so high that not even that golden power can help you out.
And Pikamu really moving up in the bracket if they keep on these wins. But yeah.
A huge win streak for Pikamu now, a full 3 points ahead. It's gonna be tough for Ted Baker to come back from this one, but you know we've seen a lot of comebacks.
You know, does Pikamu have the cow buff? Like cows moving? Who knows?
Oh, that's true. Could be some caster bias here.
Well, yeah, I would never be biased. Like, oh, that's impossible. It's impossible. But we also see both these players are very skilled, and I think that it could be anyone's game, especially if Ted Baker's able to make a comeback in this mode, which I think they kind of excel.
Yeah, I like that J piece with the Vine there, and that L piece is gonna create some counterweight so it doesn't fall over. Very smart move, but using this I piece might be tough.
Yeah, honestly, in Tetra we have counter spikes, but here we have counter weights. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely knowing how the physics works is key, especially in puzzle mode. And using the Vine power from puzzle normal, I think, is always very interesting to see because there's so many different ways you can use that to your advantage. Making certain attachments, combinations of blocks. Always interesting to see what decisions players make. And honestly, I think the decision that Ted Baker made is paying off for them very well.
Yeah, I really like how the stack kind of goes out towards left. As I said before, anything that's a wide stack is going to be very helpful because you can not only fit more pieces, but make it in a more stable way, I think.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think Ted Baker only has one more block to go for them here. After that D piece plunks down, I don't think any other piece can fit in here unless they go for like a very risky play, which I don't think they will.
Oh, it's close. I don't know.
Looking very clean and solid in Ted Baker's stack with a lot of holes, so we'll see what the game counts, because I haven't been manually counting.
Oh no! Pikamu by one block! That is insane! Barely squeezing through for another win here.
Yeah.
Oh my god. UBC Esports says, let's name the Vine, and Bad Goblin just says boom.
Can we get a Vine boom sound every time someone uses the Vine?
No, not like this. Alright, oh.
And that is not a good opening for Ted Baker. Misdropping the Z piece, I believe. And already behind in lives. But the game will give you bonus life power-ups if you lose them early, so nothing too hard, but it's definitely not what you want to be seeing in survival special, especially when they give you the huge block debuff.
Honestly, it's a debuff sometimes, but other times it works pretty good for the stack. Especially in Pikamu's case, very, very wide, accommodating a lot of pieces, and Ted Baker is looking a little bit, they're on thin ice with this thin stack here.
Yeah, that tower very, very narrow, just like their margin to win this game, unfortunately. You know, a lot of times you'll see some stacks in this game that kind of have no future, and this stack is about to have no lives.
Hey, you know, maybe Ted Baker's hitting the comeback in the future instead. But for now, Pikamu taking another round, asserting their dominance with a continued streak of wins.
Yeah, looking like almost a sweep here if Pikamu can just finish this off with this puzzle special.
Puzzle Special doesn't have abilities, am I correct?
Yeah, Puzzle Special, the only puzzle mode with no ability. In Puzzle Easy, you get the Lightning Bolt. In Puzzle Special, or sorry, Puzzle Medium, you get the Vine. But Puzzle Special, nothing here, and Ted Baker not getting the nudge in properly at the very start.
Very unfortunate. Oh, it is looking rough for them, but honestly, I commend their, you know, their willingness to keep on playing it out, regardless of how bad it looks. You know, an inspiration to us all, really.
And actually, I do believe Goblin in the chat is correct at this point. With the current point differential, I don't actually think Ted Baker can win before Pikamu does, since he gained 2 points on the loss.
Oh, it's okay. Ted Baker is gonna play it out to the end, fighting till their last breath. I truly respect it. But yeah. Oh wait, Ted Baker's going for an insanely greedy play. Oh no, and it doesn't quite pay off with the tuck there. Oh,
yeah, the center of mass not quite working out for Ted Baker here. And
Pikamu
no,
goes for greed as well and goes real high up. Oh no.
This tuck from Pikamu might be crazy.
Oh!
That overhang! No, you can't hang that off if it's not a solid
It didn't
block.
say, wait, Ted Baker can take this, denying the sweep and giving the broom straight back to Pikamu because they're not taking the full-on sweep. But, you know, I think unfortunately Pikamu is going to be taking the second round and moving up in the bracket after this game.
Not yet. There's still one round to play out just for completion's sake.
Oh, oops, my bad. Survival easy. Oh, this one's big. This one's big. Are we gonna see some stride, or is someone gonna finish out the blocks? We'll see.
You know, yeah. At this point, they're just playing for honor. Ted Baker reclaiming the honor, at least taking 2 matches.
Yeah, Ted Baker can't get their honor back until they capture the avatar or something like that.
Man, it's been a while since I've seen Avatar. That's for sure.
Oh man. But speaking of Avatar, it seems like Pikamu's in their element, stacking very, very well. And a clean board. Oh wait, the Vine, hold up, there we go, perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Vine boom. As requested. I'll only do it once, don't worry, production. Only once.
Yeah, definitely on fire here.
Oh no, Pikamu losing a block here, going to lose a life. Seems like Ted Baker is in the lead with the health, but unfortunately, the stack might not be looking all that great for them in the later rounds.
Yeah, for sure. And a strategy you could employ in survival here, you might see it from other rounds, but something I just want to point out that you could do is, since after you drop a block, and I'm sure people, if you've been watching carefully, you've seen this already, that when you drop a block in survival and lose a life, you can't lose another life for the next few seconds. It's like having invincibility when you're hit in the game. You could use that strategy to your advantage when you're near the end by just plonking down as many blocks as fast as possible without any regard to your lives, because at that point you're already going to win.
Yeah, but speaking of lives, it seems like Ted Baker is out of them, and Pikamu actually here taking the second Super Cup here for, I think now, moving up in the bracket.
Yeah, Pikamu gonna move on to the next round. Or I would say that, except everyone actually moves on to the next round since we're doing a round robin bracket, but
so true,
you know,
so true.
It is what it is, right?
But yeah, honestly, once again, Pikamu showing their superior stacking skills and just keeping that stack flatter, neater, and cleaner than Ted Baker, unfortunately for Ted. But, you know, honestly, well played from both players.
Indeed. Very close round for the first round, and then Ted Baker almost mounted a comeback, but unfortunately the point lead was already too big for him to close out.
Absolutely. Also, wait, are there tiebreakers in this? There are, right? Depending on.
Or yeah, there would if both players. Actually, I don't know how a tiebreaker is calculated if both players get the exact same number of points. I do believe it is by the number of gold medals you have, which you do get from a win. So it's like 3 gold medals from a win, 2 gold medals from second.
I see,
1 gold medal or 1 bronze medal if you somehow tie the or do worse than the observer, which hopefully we don't see during today's tournament.
Right.
Honestly, it'd be pretty hard to do worse than the observer considering they're actively trying to lose. But you know, I've definitely I've definitely had some disastrous puzzle mode stacks before.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Honestly, imagine the observer pulls in the crazy final round, just blitzes at 3 PPS and wins it. That'd be a little bit funny there, but you know, I'm sure they would not do that.
True. And yeah, as you can see in chat, if you want to join in on the Tricky Towers fun, not on this tournament, but just get Tricky Towers in general, it is currently on sale for 70% off. Not sponsored by Tricky Towers, but a very fun party game, and honestly, a fresh breath of air from traditional Tetris if you're getting, you know, a bit burnt out of that.
Mm-hmm. I do think it's a good mix-up because, you know, like we said before, the fundamental stacking will kind of still carry over because if you can stack clean, you can stack clean here, but it plays very, very different to things like Tetria or Puyo Puyo Tetris. So, an interesting mix-up for that.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like it's like the closest Tetris gets like a party game, you know, like if you're playing like a Mario Party or like some other thing with mini games. And speaking of, we're actually getting to our next match right now, which is Ted Baker versus Dig Cheese.
Ooh.
Dig Cheese, very noted BC Tetris member.
Honestly, I saw Dig Cheese again in the daily Tetris. I think it's gonna pay off with the I think it was Ultra.
Yeah,
surely Ultra practice.
It's a Misa Mino practice, I believe.
Oh, it's Misa. My bad.
Yeah, and as you can see here, Dig Cheese playing very quickly, stacking very well as well. That doesn't quite.
Ooh, wait, big Jerry play. Wait, Jerry's the hard one, right? The rock.
Yeah, the rock.
Yeah, big Jerry play from Dig Cheese, allowing them to completely extend the stack farther than they normally would have been able to.
Exactly. Honestly, if they delayed it for a bit, they could have turned one of the large pieces into a solid rock piece, and that probably would have been an extremely good play.
Yeah, honestly, Dig Cheese stack kind of rocks right now.
Yeah, getting another rock here turns the piano into a rock.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
wait,
very
a quick win from Dig Cheese. Huge point and stack advantage, and it's not looking great for Ted Baker, but it is certainly not over for them just yet.
Yeah, definitely. They've still got just first match of the round, right? There's still a lot to go before they're completely cooked.
Okay, Ted Baker now where they're most comfortable with the puzzle. I don't really know where the best place to put this would be, but
honestly, if I were these players, I'd probably just remove this O. Creating that
right, with the lightning, they can zap it away. That's right.
But both players going to choose to deal with it, and we'll see how that goes for them. Will they be able to beat the observer? So with these kind of
going for the
overhangs.
tuck here. Oh, never mind. Not going for the tuck. I got juked. Now this is the tuck. Here we go.
With these kind of overhangs, as we can see that S piece overhang on Ted Baker's side of the board, those are very interesting. Those have very interesting properties because when you put them on a solid block or a solid ground, like in puzzle mode, they'll stay. But if you hang one off a non-solid block, like a tricky tower block, they won't actually stay. They'll actually fall off. So that's something to watch out for when you're playing this game, knowing the properties of like how the overhang works, how the physics system works. And unfortunately, Ted Baker placing that Z too far on the left and collapsing the stack almost entirely.
Yeah, they're going to be Zing their stack rise quite dramatically from that, unfortunately.
We'll see if they're able to dig themselves out of this hole. Unfortunately, Dig Cheese doesn't have much cheese for themselves to dig through. A very stable stack, and unless they completely mess up somewhere, I think they're just going to take this round.
UBC Esports says, guys, what if I win? That would be a logistical nightmare.
I don't think you have to worry about it this time, and yeah, that eyepiece tilting over to the left side. Gonna end the round
Tilted
for
Towers?
Baker.
Fortnite?
Really
But it seems like,
dropping.
speaking of Fortnite, Digchi's gonna be the victory royale for this one. Oh my
Speaking of
God.
Fortnite, might be a bit crazy. As we move into the next round, survival easy. Hoping to see some big plays here. Players get the right power-ups. Looking for a Jerry power-up, of course. My favorite power-up.
Stack's looking pretty good for both players, but it seems like Digcheese is going to have the better foundation of the two so far. Health advantage is the same, but Digcheese is actually rapidly approaching the block count with only 20 blocks left. If they place all of them, they actually just straight up win, regardless of health.
Yeah, and that wide foundation for the stack is going to look very nice. Going into the later half of the round already, 13 blocks, 12 blocks. I don't know completely at what point you can just go for spam dropping blocks, but honestly, I think Digcheese is pretty close to that threshold.
I think now
Power
could
up.
be time, especially with this Jerry. I think it could be over for Ted Baker, just kind of falling behind on the speed, unfortunately.
Yeah, but only one life left, falling behind on the speed. Digcheese, very dominant showing in this survival.
Holy, completely sprinted it out. And Digcheese is the winner yet again, putting the tower onto the side for a little bit of an unorthodox victory stack.
Can we call the floating island power-up Zachary?
Alright, it's Zachary. I'm gonna completely forget all of these names. I'm already terrible with names, but if we start naming power-ups, it's just doomed. Like, I don't even have a face to put it to.
Alright, and speaking of facing, these players are going to have to face a really interesting challenge because they get the triple pillar setup for this puzzle mode. This setup always the most difficult in my opinion to deal with. But
Oh, well, Ted Baker's got a little bit of a saggy J piece there, but I think it should work out.
yeah, and a
think it
huge
can-
eye tuck there from Digcheese. Wow, I would have never seen that, honestly. You see the eye underneath the T into that, in between that pillar? I didn't even know that was possible. But gonna have to see where he chooses to place this next piece. He's going for the vine. Is there enough counterweight on that eyepiece? to
Wait,
actually
this
stay? And there
extension with
is.
the vine is ridiculous. Oh my god.
Absolutely genius play, and you know that's what I love to see in Puzzle Normal. The use of the vine is always the most interesting part.
Oh, Digchee's going for another tuck, extending the stack even further here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, almost like trying to make his way over to Ted Baker's board, climbing all the way to the left.
Yeah, exactly.
But I am noticing a slight potential issue there if he places that Z piece, or sorry, the S piece on top of that T, and it's that... Or I guess it wouldn't be an issue, as long as he doesn't keep going to the right, but as you
Yeah.
can see, there isn't a piece connecting that upside down L piece and the T piece, and that could lead to long-term danger, but in this case, it's not going to lead to any danger. I think he's solidly locked in this win.
Yeah, honestly, Ted Baker's stack is pretty good, but just the ridiculous big brain plays from Digcheese extending the stack out allowed him to stack so much more than Baker here, unfortunately for Baker.
Yeah, again, absolutely, honestly genius plays from Digcheese here in this Tricky Towers Puzzle Normal round.
Puzzle normal. It seems like winning is a normal occurrence for Digcheese though, but going into this race special, anything can happen with all this wind coming in.
Yeah, especially since the wind, this time blowing to the left. The wind in race special, of course, will choose a random direction to blow at the start of the round, but it will stay that direction for the entire round. So you don't need to worry about building your tower to accommodate a right blowing wind, and then suddenly the wind switches up on you.
Absolutely. Oh my god, wait. Speaking of wind, here on Channel 5's News, my name is Cowbell with the weather. Today's forecast is looking extremely windy with a chance of falling blocks. So watch your heads out there, people, and be sure to observe all normal warnings for storms. Back to Doty.
Yeah, okay, back to the sports report.
The sports report? Yeah, the esports report, exactly.
Honestly, can you imagine like living in the world of Tricky Towers? Like there are houses here, right? There's a house on the bottom there.
Honestly, here in Vancouver, this house on Ted Baker's side would sell for like $2 billion. Like, let's be honest.
You wake up in the morning, you just hear these wizards dropping blocks on your head. Yup, it's raining again.
Yeah, rent is 5K a month, you know, Wait, no, it's getting too real, Take it back.
What's unreal is Dig Cheese's stack here is so wide, it gets still so far ahead of Ted Baker, and considering the wind is very, very impressive, but kind of has an eye dependency set up there, but actually gonna place the T on top because dependencies aren't real in this game. You can just build over the hole, you don't need to fill up the holes.
That's so crazy. Honestly, a thing that's really underrated about this game is that you don't have to down stack at all. There's quite literally no down stacking, it's all up stacking.
Yeah, and actually a huge, brutal, large block power-up from Dig Cheese there to try to lock in the win, honestly. Ted Baker might need to use that Jerry power-up to create a stone block. And there we go. Will it be enough? I don't think so, yeah. I really think Ted Baker needs to get that golden trowel power-up, equivalent of a bullet bill in this game, but I think Dig Cheese about to lock in the win here, despite that very slanted eye. Actually, the wind finally blowing back into Dig Cheese's face here. But
Dig Cheese did try to just kind of cheese out the last bit of their stack there, and you know what? I think they did get it with this one. Second time is the charm for Dig Cheese, completing their tricky tower and taking another win yet again. And Baker is really gonna have to pull a huge comeback if they want to clutch this one out for sure.
Ted Baker somehow needs to miraculously win the next 3 or 4 rounds and also have Dig Cheese do worse than the Observer. Which, I don't think will happen, but you never know.
Hey, anything can happen here in Tricky Towers at the UBC Esports. But, honestly, this special is looking really interesting because there's no slots on the right side of the stack at all. So everything's gonna have to be on the left.
Exactly, and some honestly unfortunate placements like the O or unfortunate P sequences means that they can't use everything to its fullest potential. And of course in special there's no lightning power up to get rid of a block you don't want, or a vine power up to like connect blocks to create good plays, and that's not a play you want to see.
Ted Baker's trying to find a way to compensate for the stack, but unfortunately resulted in it falling over. Dig Cheese on the other hand, greedy play with the L piece, able to get it somehow fixed. Oh my god, no, there's no way. Does this work?
Stacking on top of it as well. Oh, if that works.
On the other side, the Ted Baker extending their stack out in a very creative way as well.
There's no way Dig Cheese goes for this placement. This placement's, yeah, that placement would be
no,
far
no
too
way.
risky.
It's gonna fall.
But honestly, with the win locked in, maybe you just go for it. You just try.
There's no way.
What if it stays?
Oh my god. What?
Dig Cheese absolutely cheating death right now.
Unreal. Oh no, catastrophic placement on Dig Cheese's board. Ted Baker has the chance to come back.
But yeah, definitely still big plays to be made for Dig Cheese if he gets the right pieces. Placing that T to try to act as a counterweight, is it going to be enough? Oh no, it's going to tip over the edge. What? It stays on.
The Bad Goblin chat says must be in Pisa. How this tower leaning? But it seems like the Pisa are falling all over the place here on Dig Cheese's side. I think Ted Baker might be able to clutch this one out.
Yeah, there's a good chance. I think that J piece could go on the left there, and if he does manage to place it, nope.
I think that should have placed. I don't really know where that got zapped.
Yeah, I think what happened is the L piece was slightly jutting out over the left side, but it's not gonna matter because he does take this with 9 blocks. Dig Cheese definitely
showing their spirit and fighting hard. I respect it.
Definitely tested their luck with those placements on the left, but I think this round is still locked in for Dig Cheese. But
you know, here's the real question: if you're really good at race easy, right? It's only like half the height or whatever. Does that make you an opener main?
I think that just makes you like a sprint strider. You know, like if you're really good at like building up really fast with random blocks. Because you can't really opener main in this game.
That's true.
The blocks are completely random.
Yeah.
I do think it does use the 7-back system though, so I don't know. You could like try building MS2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, that's really funny. I want to try
that. You definitely wouldn't be able to spin anything in, but you could build like the shape to like honor your favorite openers. Right. You could try 4 whiting in this game maybe.
4 wide in freaking Tricky Towers would be insanity. Oh my god.
Yeah. Hopefully that's something we see today. You know, a crazy 4 wide.
There's so many 4 wides. I don't know. I'll lose my mind. I'll go crazy. But
Yeah,
who's
but
also
Dig
going crazy is Dig Cheese sprinting to the top of their board and clutching out the final win in this round that they needed. Oh, wait, bouncing the tower up the side. It's a little bit, that's a little funny for that one.
Honestly, hoping to see a 180 tower and a 180 house flip. If you can do that, you're actually a truly skilled Tricky Towers player.
I think that's an achievement.
It is. If you bounce the house at the right angle and with the right nudge at the end of the round, you can actually flip it 180 degrees before the game pauses.
Yo, when freaking Tricky Towers is 180, but TEC doesn't. That's amazing.
Well, I don't think Tricky Towers is licensed by the Tetris company either. But then again,
That's
I don't
true.
think Tricky Towers is technically a Tetris game.
It's not even. No. It's like it's a block stacker game. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
Exactly, but yeah, some very impressive stacking there from Dig Cheese. Clearly, the digging cheese skill translating to Tricky Towers, even though you can't actually down stack in this game. But yeah, able to dig himself out of a lot of tough situations with those clean stacking and very creative puzzle solutions. At Puzzle Normal, definitely very impressive to see. Puzzle Special, a bit less impressive, but honestly, I respect the fact that he went for the play.
Right? I think that sometimes you need to greed if you want to kick out the big plays. And honestly, we're all here for that. And the bigger the play, the bigger the reaction. And we're here for the maximum amount of entertainment for all of you out there. So, you know, in the meantime, thank you for stopping by and supporting, you know, local UBC esports for the Winter Series. You know, we appreciate you guys in chat, and hopefully it's been a good time so far. We're going to keep it up here.
Yeah, thank you everyone for coming by. Honestly, Tricky Towers, this tournament, unfortunately, there was a lot of short notice things that happened, but I think I'm having a lot of fun watching these games, and I hope everyone else in chat is also having a lot of fun. As we move into, hopefully, the next round between Dig Cheese and Ted Baker here.
Ooh, okay, yes. First to two.
First to two, Super Cup. And kicking it right off with a Puzzle Survival, or did I just say Puzzle Survival? Oh my god, I am so sleep deprived.
Yeah, truly a puzzling play by Doey on the commentary right there.
Survival easy, but the true puzzle is how Ted Baker is going to try to take this set, because Dig Cheese honestly extremely dominant in that last set, playing quickly. Ted Baker, though, finally ahead in blocks for a while, and that lightning bolt could help him out with an awkward placement.
Honestly, Ted Baker playing like lightning here. Honestly, they could speed this out. They've got a really, really nice stack too, and they're poised to win this round if Dig Cheese is not able to fix up their stack in time.
Yeah, looking completely different. Ted Baker drops a block, but good use of that lightning to clear the overhang. Up 7 blocks, actually, and Dig Cheese losing a life and that awkward T-piece placement. I think Ted Baker takes this first round.
Oh, using the boom, Ted Baker continuing their stack, almost creating a sonic boom with this freaking speed here. And
Ted Baker,
it seems like, yeah, they got it. Let's go, Ted Baker. You take those.
Yeah, Ted Baker booms Dig Cheese in this first round, completely outspeeding him. Dig Cheese maybe not realizing how fast Ted Baker was playing, and with some awkward placements on their own board. Definitely made some misplays.
Holy. Bad Goblin wants to sub in comms. That would be humorous, but yeah. Maybe in the next not UBCE sports one. Let's see. Oh my god, Observer going for a crazy play, hitting the upstack at blistering speeds. I love to see it.
Alright. Again, hopefully we see some good Vine plays here. With the disconnected islands, it's always very hard, but you know, Ted Baker has already... Oh, Dig Cheese and Ted Baker? Oh, wait. Have these been flipped around the entire time? I just saw production change the names.
Oh, wait, is it actually? No way. Wait, no, wait. What? Did they...
You know,
anyways, back to the game here. Back to the game.
But yeah, well, that's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Daichi is going for a pretty clean stack here. Why didn't
good use of that Vine there. I think I think they reconsidered the tuck, but I do think you can actually go for that tuck considering the vine and the O counterweight on the vine blocks could boom out your opponent. I'm gonna go for the dangerous stack here. I don't know if that stays on. I don't actually think it does.
Oh god,
no, an
Dig
absolute
Cheese
tragedy on
is
Dig Cheese's
straight
side.
to the top. Very unfortunate. But Ted Baker, the real Ted Baker here, is gonna take this win for the puzzle.
High risk play from Dig Cheese did not pay off that time. If they had more blocks on top of there and maybe connecting more with the left side of the tower, it could have been good, but yeah, not considering the ramifications of stacking to the right when the tower isn't as connected as you think it is, will cause that to happen. Definitely respect the attempt.
Yeah, honestly, I dig it. Okay, no, I need to redeem this thing. Yeah, okay. Anyways, back to the game here.
How about trying to dig himself out of a linguistic hole he dug himself into?
But speaking of holes, it seems like actually the holes don't matter. Wait, I'm throwing. I'm trolling.
Yeah, that's true. But Dig Cheese, a lot of weird shapes in the stack. That L piece at the bottom not doing him any favors, and this fine power, but I don't think will help at all. Actually, very genius power piece. Never mind, I stand corrected.
It's still not quite as smooth as Ted Baker's side here, who's doing quite a good job at building up here.
Yeah, and this time Ted Baker actually on a nice pace compared to Dig Cheese. And Dig Cheese's tower looking very unstable. The left side and that T-piece placement, the slanted L piece there actually causing that T-piece to fall over because the pieces aren't aligned properly in the grid. So Dig Cheese gonna have to do a lot of work to find himself out of here. And the tower's gonna fall.
Dig Cheese!
The dark magic not enough.
Dig Cheese's board height was, or board health was even more volatile than my TR going straight down that.
Yeah, and as soon as we switch the names back around, Ted Baker starts taking these.
Wait, that's actually insane. Maybe it's just the right side buff, perhaps.
Yeah, the player on the right might have the advantage. Gonna have to investigate this one.
But getting right back into the game here with some puzzle, Ted Baker trying to find a smart play, but oh no! Unfortunately, the physics did not allow for that placement there.
Yeah, the center of mass of the TP is of course in the middle of the piece if you place it like that, and Ted Baker did not really consider it. I wonder if you could lightning bolt that piece fast enough.
I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can. It's just whatever you put down last.
Yeah, to prevent the loss, but unfortunately unable to react fast enough in time and going to be at a slight disadvantage going to the rest of this puzzle round, especially against Dig Cheese, who, if they don't make a crazy risky play and drop their entire stack, is actually quite skilled with puzzle mode. This placement by Ted Baker looking a bit precarious.
Oh no,
doesn't
they
even
didn't
get the
quite
nudge.
Get the tuck. Oh no. Yeah, I feel like the tucks are really tough because you need enough support on top of the tuck to you know, accommodate for the gravity.
Exactly, and timing-wise, it's not the easiest either, especially since the blocks are dropping really slowly, of course, but with the slow blocks also makes timing a bit tougher.
Yeah, but speaking of falling, it seems like Dig Cheese's stack on the right side just completely fell over and ended their run for this one. It's close between both players. Ted Baker going for a kind of risky play, but I think their other decision here was a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely a lot of ways for Ted Baker to come back from this. This piece could obviously tuck into either the left or the right side. Considering the next piece though, I think me personally, I would tuck this piece over on the right side. Going for an overhang, slightly riskier, and this overhang is even more risky. I don't know if that S piece can support this J piece. And no, it's gonna fall over.
It's so close between both of these players. I truly don't know who's taking this.
Ted Baker's stack of course looking wider, but pushed up slightly more. It's gonna be close, I'd feel.
Oh, and the draw is crazy! Oh my god, so close between both. But you know what? A draw is not too bad for either of them, and Ted Baker continuing their gold medal spree so far.
Yeah, but here is where things will get spicy. Race special. Dig Cheese did pretty well in the race special last time, but will it pay off this time? Win, of course, going to the right this round. And our observer getting out to an early lead, first place. Incredible, incredible work. Yeah, that tower's not gonna last long. Speaking of towers, Dig Cheese's tower looking pretty difficult. I tried not to say tricky.
No, not like this.
But yeah, that slanted O piece is gonna be really bad in the long run, and honestly, sometimes in race, if my tower starts getting too bad, I'll just like let it collapse so that I can rebuild.
Right.
Because that's probably better than whatever Dig Cheese is gonna try to do right now, which might be to create a vine piece. And
Yeah, honestly, letting it collapse and rebuilding, that's what I do with my grades, dude. Yeah.
You know, sometimes you like misdrop in Tetrio really bad, and you're like, all right, let's go next.
Go next, exactly. But it seems like Ted Baker's trying to make Dig Cheese go next with this huge upstack. Looking very, very strong. But this rotational, you know, what you call it? The thing that messes with your rotates from Dig Cheese was almost bad for Ted Baker.
Yeah, the dark magic use makes the next piece rotate randomly. Honestly, one of the weaker debuffs in my opinion. But Ted Baker, unfortunately, that S piece placement, I think if it were a bit better, it would have been really good since he does have that solid island created. But yeah, not gonna matter too much here. Ted Baker, honestly, off to a really good lead.
Yeah, I think the floating island, what it was, Zachary? The Zachary is looking real strong from Ted Baker, completely supporting the stack here. Ted Baker still has 2 power-ups left in the reserve. I don't know if they're going to use it or not, but we'll see. Oh god, what we are going to see as well is a huge topple out from Ted Baker as the stack falls down.
Oh no, it's an absolute tragedy.
Oh, no.
I mean, I don't know, if you were here, would you just go back onto the island? Dig Cheese, though.
Yeah, the island is definitely the clutch. Yeah, Zachary truly coming in clutch for Ted Baker. And Dig Cheese sends over some shrubs to Ted Baker, but it seems like Ted is just going to shrub it off and keep going.
Yeah, the bush debuff, honestly, one of the worst ones in the game if you know where you're placing your stacks. But as I say that,
no.
I mean, the bush didn't have anything to do with it, but a tragic tower blowing over for Ted Baker. And yeah, I mean, that's the danger of building a thin tower in race special. Dig Cheese poised to win it all right here. If the pieces line up correctly, I think that O piece. No.
Oh, it's almost with Ted Baker's comeback, but not quite in time, and Dig Cheese takes this round too. Oh man.
And with that win, Dig Cheese is actually going to tie it up. So now both players poised to go for the win. And we'll see how this goes. Puzzle special. Ted Baker, surprisingly, usually takes these. Or not surprisingly, but...
it is their strong suit.
Yeah, it's definitely one of their strong suits for this mode. Especially if their opponent overplays their cards in this mode.
Yeah, you know, they're making like a lawyer in a gym with their strong suit, for real. But speaking of gyms, it seems like Ted Baker's stack is going to work out here. Holy, I really like the extension on the right side.
Yeah, that T-shape though, a bit awkward. No piece can really cleanly fit in there, but I think it could pay off in the long run. And that L on the left actually conveniently working out. I thought that would fall. It would be disastrous, but it does work out.
On Ted Baker's side, potential.
He's been potential on Ted Baker's side.
Oh wait, this stack is crazy from Ted. I love this stack. This is absolutely nuts. Yeah, if they go for T-spin, I think they just win by default. But you know, unfortunately, not going to take the opportunity.
Definitely should get a bonus medal if you do pull off a T-spin in this mode. Well, Dig Cheese though, very clean stack so far on the left side. Nothing too risky going on, but you know, a good solid stack is kind of what you need when you're trying to close it out. But oh no, that piece shifted over 1 half block too many on Dig Cheese's side, and that could be bad. Just as bad as that other block falling on Ted Baker's side. Both players making slight misplays, but nothing that'll ruin the game for them yet.
Oh
that
no,
piece,
Ted
though,
Baker's got like stairs on the right side, and it's making it really hard for him to put stuff down there.
Yeah, can't quite make the Kaidan setup, unfortunately. This isn't modern Tetris. No wall to prop the Z over.
Yeah, can't skim either, which is tough.
Yeah, I mean the equivalent of skimming would be to throw a block over the edge, but
oh, I guess that's true.
Throw a block over the. Okay, never mind.
no, I was gonna say it.
Yeah, Well, really solid stack there from Dig Cheese, placing the eyepiece as the last one on the left side over the J. Of course, with enough counterweight on top with the O pieces and L piece to hold it together. And it's up to Ted Baker to catch back up here.
It's still close again between both players. I think Dig Cheese might have more blocks in the bottom, but if Ted Baker can spread these out well enough, it could be doable.
It's going to be really tough, though. That eyepiece, not many places for it to go. And will that stay? It's slanted. Oh no, it's tilted too much.
Ted! No!
Absolute
So
tragedy.
close. But yeah, it seems like the eye placement was a little bit too unfortunate, and Dig Cheese is going to be eyeing that winner's spot right there.
Honestly, if he got the T-spin off, he probably would have won.
Yeah, the T-spin, real. UBC Esports says, actually, T-spins don't work in this game.
Well, I haven't seen anyone try it yet, so until I see that evidence for myself, I'm gonna stay a believer.
That's true. Actually, Observer, can we see a T-spin attempt on your side for science?
I don't even know how easy it would be to set one up.
I have no clue. I actually don't know.
Speaking of setting up, Dig Cheese trying to set himself up to win this next round. Stacking very stable in this race normal. And yeah, Ted Baker slightly behind, but doesn't need to go for the nudge. Uses the Jerry on the O piece, and Dig Cheese there, a crucial attempt at just taking Ted Baker out right there and then using the random rotation debuff on the O piece. Very, very dangerous to deal with, especially when you're means you can't properly O spin.
But speaking of O's, it seems like Ted Baker's O is causing them some woe on their side here. As
Oh no.
Gonna kind of mess up their stack out.
Dig Cheese opting to debuff their opponent instead of using that vine for their own stack. Very aggressive play, but with that, with the stability of their stack currently, they don't really need it.
Ooh, Dig Cheese's stack is kind of stable at the top, but the middle area is looking extremely suspicious. Like, what is that T-piece in there?
Well, in this game, you can just stack over your mistakes and you can't get punished for it. So.
We're gonna see how
but
that works
that
out here.
T-piece, another tragic T-piece, but well-timed lightning coming in to save him. Like the God of Thunder coming in to bless you with a lightning strike, you know?
Oh, but Ted Baker's stack is thundering down to the bottom of their board here, unfortunately for them. But it could give them a chance to kind of clean up their stack and start over pretty fresh.
Yeah, definitely. And even though this isn't race special, it's definitely a storm approaching for Ted Baker as Dig Cheese approaches the top of the board. Has the vine ready to go, doesn't need to use it.
Oh, and they do use it with the vine boom right there. Super close to the top. Ted Baker does have the stone blocks at the bottom, the Jerry's, but I don't know if it's in time as Dig Cheese is super close to the top.
Yeah, that eyepiece is gonna stay. Oh my god.
Wait, what? The eyepiece is...
But the timer runs out. Dig Cheese creates that floating island for himself as he floats away on his cloud to take this round.
Well, so that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I like it.
Thank you.
Big Joe says Ted bakes because his round is cooked. No, not like this. But Dig Cheese taking it away with 15 gold medals, which is pretty solid. All right. I believe we are going to be. Wait, is that the first round or the second?
That was the second round. So we're going to round robin round 3. Is the bracket available in the stream?
I don't know yet. Let's see. Oh, I gotta put the cock pasta down. Yeah, I hope you guys voted this for the stackies because you know I was so ready for it.
Yeah, shout out to Cowbound, nominated for 3 stacky categories. I'm not trying to rig the votes, but you can guess who I voted for.
I appreciate it, though. Always with the support. But yeah, honestly, speaking of stacks, both of those players were stacking real hard there for the Tricky Towers. But it seems like Dig Cheese's hardcore, Tetra experience is going to be winning out from that round there.
All right, and I do believe we have a rather exciting match for the next one. It's Pikamu versus Mr. Pikachu.
Whoa.
battle of the Pikas. We'll see who can shock the audience more with their play.
Yeah, we're gonna reach the peak gameplay for this one, that's for sure.
Oh my god. Very electrifying commentary we have here. How many Pikachu jokes can we make?
My Pokemon knowledge is a little bit lacking, but I can probably come up with a few.
It's fine. I can write you some more later.
Big Joe says, what Jester will Cal perform when he wins the Stacking Awards? No, I'm kidding. If I go up on stage and dab, my career is over. I would never do that. That's
I think
so
you should like
embarrassing.
practice like a emote, you know, like a Fortnite emote. Just like
the
practice
freaking
one.
JoJo pose, like, or like, you know, yeah.
Just like walk backwards on your webcam and start dancing.
Not like this. Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to be dancing right into our next match, coming up super soon. I believe.
Just waiting for our observers to set up the match, and honestly, pretty excited to see this one. Pikamu. Haven't seen Mr. Pikachu play yet, but Pikamu, very interesting player to watch. Very stable stacking, very creative puzzle solutions. We'll see what Mr. Pikachu has got for us. Unfortunately, in the past 2 rounds, didn't take any wins, but we'll see if they can show themselves to be the better Pikachu in this case.
Big Joe says, will any of these competitors evolve their gameplay throughout the series?
Maybe if they have like a Thunderstone. I don't actually know the item you use to evolve Pikachu. I'm a fake. I'm a fraud. But what isn't fake is this puzzle gameplay that we're about to see. Puzzle easy, of course, but it's anything but.
Honestly, in the Puzzle Easy, it gives competitors even more options to go for some creative stacks because there's just more of a simple base plate to go off of, you know?
Yeah, and the fact that you get 1 lightning to remove a block, really... I mean, it's a simple power-up, right? You remove 1 block, and you get it 1 time during this puzzle, but choosing which block to remove is always very interesting, because sometimes you can work with most of the blocks. So, yeah, making that decision is a big part of Puzzle Easy.
It can really be lightening their burden, right?
You know, honestly, very fitting that both players got a lightning, considering it's the Pikachu versus Pikachu matchup.
Oh, true! Oh no, a shocking turn of events as Mr. Pikachu toppling on the board, shaking the piece in anger and frustration, communicating how mad they are from that misdrop. Unfortunate. Pikachu's poised to win this if they don't make any more mistakes. But it is only the first round, so it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, Pikachu can definitely afford to play safe here. Conserve their Poke points for the next round. And all you really need to place that J and then top out your next piece. Yeah, Pikachu definitely taking this round. Tragic tower topple from Mr. Pikachu there.
Speaking of topple, you play Topple Pop?
I actually haven't. I've seen quite a bit of gameplay of it. I haven't tried it myself.
Seems pretty interesting, but you know, I think these like kind of Tetris but not Tetris games have a lot of potential. You know, like I said before, Tricky Towers is a really nice party game and something you can do just kind of like, you know, get your mind off the super ultra competitiveness of games like Tetrio and stuff. Just
yeah, for
it's
sure.
a little different.
Honestly, it's a lot of fun seeing, even if this is like a party game, it's a lot of fun seeing these games being like taken to their limits, with both players actually trying as hard as possible to win.
I remember the first time I played this, I was like playing with other Tetris friends, like they knew how to play, right? And everyone was just screaming because like, why does this not go? Like, you know, it's just slightly off, and people were winning with a whole bunch of holes in their stack when everyone was stacking clean. And it's just you know, it's nice chaos with friends. But speaking of chaos, seems like he can be trying to make order in the chaos with this huge Zachary placement of the
Zachary into the
tower.
Jerry.
Zachary into the Jerry continuation.
Yeah, that's a true combo right there. Gonna have to investigate any possible better continuations, but yeah, this power up from Survival Special, not gonna, or the debuff rather, not really gonna do anything to either player, but that L piece actually not gonna hang properly, and that O piece falls right after. Fortunately, not costing him 2 lives, but definitely putting him on the defensive for now.
You know, it's fitting that it didn't do anything to either player, as we are playing with Mr. Pikachu right here.
Yeah, for sure, and that miss coming out again, but this time with the big blocks in tandem, gonna be a bit dangerous. That tower somehow stabilizes itself actually on Mr. Pikachu's side, but okay. Yeah, it's all
wait,
falling
oops,
down
I've
now,
been
but
informed in chat that it's actually Master Pikachu.
Master Pikachu? Oh,
Master. Oh, okay, I see.
Like a Pokemon Master Ball. Also, I don't think I've been looking at the right side of the ball.
You know, it's fine, it's fine. We're making it happen. We're making it work. You know, it's going. All right, Master Pikachu going with some master plans here, perhaps.
Yeah, let's see if he can see if he can catch a Pokemon with his Master Ball or something. A true Pokemon Master.
Honestly, I'm not a fake Pokemon fan. The only Pokemon I know is like the theme song, and that's why I was in the Tetris video.
It's okay. Both these players want to be the very best right now as they go into this survival special round, making slightly different tuck decisions. And it's always very interesting to see like which kind of tucks they go for.
Oh, that's so greedy.
Get the same
that's
blocks.
ridiculously greedy. But you know, I think that's gonna work on their.
Wait, there's a TP's coming up. No, but
the T-spin attempt.
No T-spin will come out this time.
Yeah, I will say the caliber of play is definitely gonna be a little higher, as there is a prize pool for this game here. I don't know if there's a donation thing, but production, if there is, please drop that in chat. Donate to the prize pool. Support the Tricky Towers gamers fighting for their lives here.
Yeah, no donation unfortunately, but there is going to be a prize pool. If you place anywhere in the top 3, you've already made back the money that you got for getting this game on sale. So
let's go.
You know it's worth it.
Yeah, prize pool is pretty prize cool, fitting for the winter series right here.
Yeah, using our own Tetris department's money for UBCEA Socials. Yeah, speaking of cool though, that's a really cool looking stack on Pikamu's side. Very precarious looking on the right, but working out very nicely.
Yeah, and speaking of money, Pikamu trying to cash out this win with a super nice stack. It seems like there's a lot more blocks on Pikamu's side, but they've also been placing a little bit faster. So Master Pikachu still has some time to come back here. Oh no, but this eyepiece is not going to do so many favors as it humbles down to the bottom.
This J-Tuck though from Pikamu is really risky, but it pays off. Pikamu knowing the physics of the stack very well, executing at a very high level. Honestly, it's super effective what he's doing.
Oh, the Pokemon thing. See, it's like I don't remember it from the top of my head, but if you say it, it's like, yeah, I know it's Pokemon. I know.
Yeah, a piece is gonna fall there for Pikamu, but I don't think it'll matter in the long run. They're gonna take it anyways here, unless Master Pikachu can get something out here. That
it seems like Master Pikachu might be fainting after this play.
Yeah, they're gonna need a full restore to recover from this one. And
two non-Pokemon gamers attempt to make Pokemon references while commentating a Tricky Towers tournament. That's crazy. But what sounds crazy is this win from Pikamu, showing out their crazy stacking plays.
And Pikamu out to like a really strong lead right now. 3 wins. And we'll see if they're able to claim any more here in this survival normal. For survival normal, the only survival game mode where you can actively choose to use dark magic or light magic, and can be very dangerous for either player if they get something bad.
Honestly, I don't know if I'm just petty, but I always use the dark magic unless I need to. You know, just anything that might slow people down.
Because it's like you don't really need the light magic sometimes. Like if it's the lightning, you don't really have a good piece to remove. But dark magic, if it's something good, it'll almost always screw someone over.
Right. I also will say that tuck from Pikamu is really solid. You normally see tucks in games like the you know, the puzzle where you have more time to think, but doing it in a game like this is quite you know, quite risky but intelligent too.
Yeah, for sure. And Pikamu there going for the mega piece debuff. That one, depending on the timing of it, can be extremely bad. But Mr. Pikachu actually had the lightning
zapped
there.
It away. Holy. Great counter play from the buildings.
Because they had a large block debuff of their own, but to hold on to the lightning there, you can tell they're a Pokemon master.
Oh, is Pikachu Pikachu gonna use the Chompama things? I don't know what they're called, but they're so annoying.
Yeah, they're the little birds that take a piece away. But honestly, if I were in that position, I would use the Jerry instead. Honestly, the best power up in the game, aside from like the triple one, because like it can never backfire on you basically. Of course, during race mode, some people may opt to use the stone block vertically to get as high as possible, but in survival, it's good to use it wide to keep yourself safe. And yeah, Pikachu now up to a almost 12 block lead. Definitely running away with this one.
Master
Yeah, they got
Pikachu's
more
stack
speed
is looking
EVs,
pretty
I guess.
strong though. It just I don't know if it matters because if Pikachu hits the 16 block count before it's all over, but I don't know. It's still close.
Yeah, and Pikachu having dropped the block there could be looking a bit dangerous, but really they just could play this last bit out more slowly and close it out because that is a massive lead to catch up on.
Oh, 6 blocks left for Pikachu as they activate the Dark Magic, speeding up Master Pikachu's blocks. Looking a little bit rough. Pikachu, 2 blocks left, 1, and it seems like they are going to be moving on into the next one.
This one pretty much guaranteed, and despite Joe's comments about Master Pikachu maintaining parity, unfortunately, parity does not matter as much in this game.
Did they call it parity because you use like a pair of T's? Parity?
I think it's like a math term. Actually.
Actually, yeah, exactly. I thought parity is mostly with like the T's though, no?
Oh yeah, because it's like a T piece is the only piece that has covers like more, or it's like something about like black and white squares or something. It's kind of weird to discuss. Yeah, speaking of math, if you do the math here, I think Pikachu almost basically has this one locked in the bag. I don't know if they can lose this one, even if they lose the next few matches.
Yeah, well, you know what? What's important is that both players fight as hard as they can for the matches, regardless of the score, which is, you know, the competitive integrity is something I really respect. Master Pikachu not giving up regardless.
Yeah, of course. Like even if you're basically unable to come back from points, it's always nice to play it out. And to see if you can.
Oh no, Master Pikachu! Unfortunate placement as the vines cause the rest of the attack to topple down, and oh my. It seems like 4 is gonna be the magic number for this one. As Pikachu takes this puzzle.
Yeah, and unfortunately, time nudge means that LPs that Pikachu was looking for there will not slot itself in. So both players making some misplays, but Pikachu taking this one once again.
Right. Well, it seems like stack is looking pretty good on both sides. Master Pikachu kind of has that like MKO looking thing, you know, with that.
Yeah.
S and Z, yeah.
Yeah, you can do like an overhang, maybe a free wide.
Yeah, do an overhang and then make a T-spin, right?
Yeah, then do another floating T-spin. you know the classic.
If someone hits a 3-wide float, imagine that would be crazy.
Oh, I want to see a 3-wide float. Honestly, there's a lot of floating blocks in this game if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you hit the Jerry.
Why is this
Can
a
we
thing?
can we like canonize that name?
It is canon. We should message the wait, what? Master Pikachu's block almost toppled out, but somehow regained its balance. That was insane. I don't know if you saw that or not. That was crazy.
Oh, I didn't, but you know, they don't call him the master for nothing.
It was like leaning over the edge. Oh no, the dash seemed to have not worked in Master Pikachu's favor. But Pikachu, on the other hand, clean stack and faster too, as I think they close this one out as well.
Yeah, not even gonna need to use the Jerry power up there. Gonna take this pretty solidly, and wow, I think that was a full sweep by Pikachu against Master Pikachu.
They are really grabbing the broom for that sweep, but Master Pikachu does have the chance to come back, evolved and ready for more.
Yeah, of course, we haven't seen a game go to three cups quite yet, but I do believe, you know, there's always an opportunity for the comeback in this game, especially with how volatile the game can be with different items, different modes.
Yeah, I think that something that's good about Tricky Towers is the amount of variety, because, you know, not only, you know, you can't put the pieces, it's not just like a grid for the pieces, it's like slightly off, you can put in half areas, And just the fact you have to adapt to your stacks when it's not perfect is what causes Tricky Towers to have a little bit more depth than you might assume compared to other games.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, a lot of people might see like people getting items and stuff and be like, "Oh, wow, RNG game. How terrible." But I think the RNG affects both players like equally most of the time, and like both players are dealing with tragic stacks. Both players in survival mode are dealing with tough situations, and how players, you know, will adapt and I guess evolve to deal with those situations is a big part of the skill in this game and how it's
Yeah, I
expressed.
feel like the item RNG is like something that's, you know, a little bit off sometimes, but overall the better player is still gonna win a majority of the time because, you know, depending how you utilize it, how you fix your stacks and stuff, there's gonna be a lot that comes in. But speaking of coming in, we're coming into the next matchup between Master Pikachu and Pikamu. I believe did they swap again? I don't know, I can't tell.
Well, I mean, we'll see after this round, but yeah, going into the puzzle normal, again, it all comes down to the vine usage in this mode. Vine usage, very important. And we'll see how they decide to connect the stacks. Me personally, I'd probably connect the 2 blocks in the middle there for Pikamu, connecting as many blocks as possible, as wide as possible, really gives you a solid foundation.
Absolutely.
We'll see what these players decide to do. Mr. Pikachu here deciding to go for the vine on the left side, but is that too heavy on the left? It actually isn't.
Oh,
But
I
that
think this
piece
block might
this-
be. Oh no.
no,
Master
yeah,
Pikachu!
it's going
over.
Tragic attempt from Master
Oh,
Pikachu. Unfortunately,
brutal.
less blocks than the Observer in this round.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think we got a little bit
that's tragic.
tied up with the vine there. Not quite paying attention to the stack as much as they maybe could have. But only the first round. I think they can still come back from that.
Yeah, but being down 2 points because you got less than Observer is very tragic.
Oh wait, oh, that's brutal. Oh no.
Yeah, that's gonna happen when you overstack on one side though.
Oh,
with
that's
that vine
rough.
usage.
You
doesn't
know,
wanna be
if Observer
connecting
can take
tower.
second place, I think that they can take a first eventually. I believe. I'm an Observer fan. Any Observer
Honestly,
fans in
like
chat?
if both players like really mess up badly in survival, it could happen. Oh wait, Observer almost went for a T-spin, but
Wait, Observer, please.
it did not happen. The T couldn't even make it down before the piece collapsed. Very tragic.
Unfortunate. Oh, this is special. Oh, I just realized. Okay, special is ridiculous with the amount of debuffs. The first one we're going to be seeing is this super speed one, which both players have dealt with pretty well, but the second wave is going to be coming in real hard and real soon.
Yeah, and Mr. Pikachu already losing 2 lives early, has the extra life power up, but are they gonna use it?
Oh, Master Pikachu dealing with a huge block here. Oh no, is this the end? Oh,
That's the extra
barely
life right in
clutching it.
time! And actually, the stack is... Oh no, it's not looking stable at all.
No.
It's over.
Too bad it couldn't make like a horse and be stable.
Unfortunately, destructing like that, not very effective.
A lot of specials coming in here. Hopefully we see
Special
some
definitely,
special
like-
grade stacking.
Special grade stacking. I don't know. I think the special modes are pretty cursed in my opinion. Like,
I was like, yeah, oh, that's it, yeah.
But yeah, they always have like some weird quirks to throw at you in every single mode. Of course, the win, but the debuffs in survival and the amount of nudging you have to do, which unfortunately Mr. Pikachu just missed over there, is pretty brutal. But the way that the nudges work in special is always, again, interesting to see, and interesting to see how players like to deal with them. Like for instance, the stack on Pikamu's side there. In any other case of this game, that would be like a very greedy, very risky stack, but because that T-piece is notched into the side of the wall, it's actually a lot more stable than it might initially look.
Right. Ooh, I don't know. Which player do you think has the advantage so far? It looks really close for both.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Mr. Pikachu did miss that very first nudge with the S-piece, but it does work out for them. Need to be careful though with continuing to stack on the right side. I don't know if that single O piece is enough weight. And of course, more stack on the right side could be dangerous. So maybe you go for something to place on the top of that O piece. Meanwhile, on Pikamu's side rather, The right side looking actually a bit risky.
Oh, Master Pikachu missed the block there, fell off, unfortunately. But it's still close. It's still close.
Yeah, and that eyepiece, again, very risky to place it there, but we'll see if it pays off. It could be slanted, and Pikachu actually topping out. There's some unfortunate placements. I think Mr. Pikachu actually takes this round. Master Pikachu takes this round.
It's okay, we've said it so many times. I have to like think consciously.
It's like A, I.
Okay, let's see. Who's gonna have more blocks here? I don't know. Observer unfortunately out, and Master Pikachu showing up their mastery of special puzzle here. Wow, very, very well played.
Master Pikachu might have been swept in the first round, but don't count them out just yet. They still got a lot of sauce to work with. They're about to show why they're called the Master Pikachu.
Yeah, it's Master Pikachu, not Noob Pikachu. Of course, of course.
Getting into this first round, I think it's pretty interesting how in these versions of the game, both players get different stacks, and it can definitely lead to some variance depending on what opening blocks you get. I think overall, it's still pretty balanced.
I think I'm kind of a Tetris boomer in which I like the stacks to be exactly the same. Like when I play Puyo Tetris, and the stack's different, it's like, man, why can you do that opener and I can't? It's like, but
I mean, I think it's all about adaptability, right? I think the thing about having the same... Oh, God. Speaking of same stacks, both players a Vine boom on their board, causing a tragic incident, and Pikachu actually taken out by that.
Honestly, just catastrophic mistakes from both sides, but it seems like Master Pikachu was able to recover just a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, as you can see there, even with different blocks, similar things will still happen. Yeah, with the same stack, you get a lot of instances where timing of certain things is exactly the same, which is fun sometimes, but can be annoying to deal with other times.
Oh, Master Pikachu not? I don't know why they
balance.
didn't rotate the T-piece there. Maybe it was a mistake or they didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure why either. I think a upside down T-piece there would have been pretty balanced. But unfortunately, now the stack is tilted, and having a tilted tower in puzzle mode is not really what you want to be going for. Definitely very tricky to deal with.
Tricky towers, man.
Honestly, I'm making a lot less tricky tower jokes than I thought I had. Wow, that actually works out somewhat nicely.
Wait, that's crazy for
Pikachu.
Master. Oh my god, dude, I did it too. It's so over. It's so over. But it's not over for both these contestants though, as they're still fighting on. Peekaboo, a little bit of a fallen off there, but they're still able to build up.
Yeah, not quite able to land that lightning bolt properly, but I think Master Pikachu, well, ahead in pace for sure, but not quite sure if they can take this round completely yet. I think Pikachu has a bit of space to work with. Unfortunately, I don't think this piece ever goes, so I think Master Pikachu will actually take this round. Of course, looking on the left side, one could think that's a potential overhang, but it doesn't actually stay on. Again, it's not a solid block, so...
Yeah, I feel like if you're super behind, though, the only way you win is just gamble. Or, I mean, maybe hope the other person messes up, but... It's tough, it's tough.
You really do have to take big risks when it comes to being behind on someone who's, like, really ahead of you. Kind of similar to, like, classic Tetris, actually.
Right.
Where, like, you're on your own board, but your play is a bit dependent on the pace that your opponent's playing at. And if they're playing really aggressively, you kind of have to match them.
Okay, both these players going for the stride gameplay here, trying to get as many pieces down as possible and clutch out the 20 or so more blocks they need to finish it off.
The speed is pretty evenly matched so far, but Pikachu's stack looking quite a bit more precarious, actually. And as we can see right now, if you look closely, the stack is kind of divided into a left and a right tower. A stack propagating up like that could be dangerous. Fortunately, they are able to connect it with the S piece, and are able to also develop a major speed advantage, so good for them.
Oh, Pikachu has the Vine Boom here, ready for fixing up the stack wherever they need it. I think they probably clutch this out unless Master Pikachu can really, really stride harder.
Master Pikachu really needs to He really needs to pick up the speed here. Maybe take a peek at the opponent's screen to see how behind they are. Unfortunately, not going to be able to pick up the pace. And yeah, Pikachu's going to take this round.
Yeah, honestly,
taking the momentum back.
Yeah, no, but I feel like if you're in Master Pikachu's spot, if you just hard drop pieces from like what 9 left, I think you could probably win that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially with how wide your stack is already. Like, it's definitely the more reliable play. And whenever I play Tricky Towers and I'm slightly behind my opponent, and there's only a few pieces left, that's always what I go for. Especially with like again full lives, wide stack. The chance that you actually like lose all your lives with that time remaining is pretty low. A Pikachu now with the advantage.
Honestly, the wind is so brutal. It is so brutal. I feel like just taking the time to go slow and keep your stacks super clean is the play for this one.
Yeah, of course. And also when you're low on the board, in race mode, there's no real punishment for dropping a piece over the edge. Aside from like the time loss. Like for example, on Master Pikachu's board, I think I would have dropped that first O piece over the edge because there was really no good place for it to go. And now that it's on your stack, it's really hard to get rid of it, right? And you just have that like diagonal looking, honestly, like reminds me of the Among Us opener thing on your stack.
But yeah, I think Master Pikachu is trying to nudge their pieces off to fix their stack, but it's not really going too well for them so far.
Yeah, meanwhile, Pikachu, absolutely beautiful stack, honestly, on the right side. Very wide base, but very safe as well, and definitely gonna be good for them in the long run. Unfortunately, we can see that tower is almost about to split.
Yeah, that split could be super dangerous for Pikachu here.
Yeah, and especially with that misdrop slightly.
Oh, the split is looking real tough. I think that Pikachu noticed it, and they're trying to stack up a little bit more on the right side to compensate.
Yeah, as you can see, when you do have that like singular line propagating up your stack, it can be a cause of like large splits, and that can be very tragic. Fortunately, they're now covering that line with some pieces of their own.
Whoa, the balloon dodge from Pikachu is crazy!
Very, very effective balloon dodge, and gets the Jerry. I think this win is, despite them being behind right now, I think they kind of have the win locked in. That tower by Master Pikachu, very, very dangerous, so it's gonna be...
Ooh, Master Pikachu does have the Vine Boom here, which could be what they need to survive, honestly.
Yeah, but I don't think anything's gonna save them aside from...
Oh, this O piece is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. There's no way.
Yeah, that O piece is something that needs to go over the edge. Yeah. But if Master Pikachu can actually close this out, I think it could be good, but that diagonal piece, there's like nothing that can solve that. You need a power up for that.
Oh, wait! If it goes on top... No, wait!
That sliding piece actually... Wait, I was completely wrong! Master Pikachu proved that was wrong!
Oh my god. Okay, I'm not even making the joke, but this is truly a tricky tower. Like, look at that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm honestly very impressed. I really expected the wind to blow the tower over there, but yeah, now we're in a really, really precarious position for both players. Only 1 point away from the win for both of them, which basically means whoever wins this next round will win the game. Because
honestly, we thought that stack was bad, but we might have blown it out of proportion right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not the master of this game, so. Well, we'll see who wins this one. A puzzle special. Very always very interesting to see. Both players I think have taken puzzle specials off each other. Sometimes off the opponent doing a misdrop, but usually off a good play on their own terms. We'll see how they handle the next few pieces. Of course, Mr. Pikachu setting up kind of like a slot to nudge their L piece in, which is very smart.
Yeah, it's not quite on the right side. I mean, because there's nothing on the left, but it's ooh, the missed nudge from Master is gonna be a little tough.
Yeah, that definitely is most likely not an intentional placement, but it could have been. Maybe making
no,
more
I
space
feel like
for the
it fit
eye.
in there. I feel like they would have.
Definitely to like gather the most space, you would nudge that in. But
Right.
if you want to go wider, most likely misdrop though. And it's definitely looking really tough for Master Pikachu. Actually going to intentionally throw a piece off the side there because they don't have a good place for it.
Intentionally throwing in the Winter Series Tricky Towers tournament? No way.
Yeah, I always wonder sometimes if like you get into a really bad situation in puzzle, if it's worth like sacking your tower height to throw a piece off the edge. But
I
I
don't
imagine
know.
like on average, it's not really worth it, especially if your opponent was doing better.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad I haven't seen anyone employ the strat in puzzle of wait for your opponent to place their piece and then copy them.
Yeah, that's so obnoxious. It's actually awful. Wait, no way.
That doesn't.
Oh, okay. You know, I respect it. I respect it for Master. They're trying it again. They really said nah when
I don't even know if that's the.
Oh my
that's
god,
like,
no.
Yeah, and,
On the other
it's a
pieces, the
tragic
gamble
collapse.
did not pay off. That is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Man.
Well played for Pikamu here. I mean, at this point, they just need to close it out. They're already in a winning position. Honestly, it would be really funny if they like overstacks here and then like lost. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Honestly, playing it safe, I respect it. But both players working really hard, and it seems like Pikamu is going to be the harder worker for the final tiebreaker right there.
Pikamu gonna be the one to come out on top in this Pokemon battle. Unfortunately, no gym badge available to give over here, but
no gym badge, but we do have the $50 prize pool, so you know maybe that's better.
yeah, Pikamu currently third in the standings at the moment, so
Oh,
definitely poised to
yeah.
try to take it. Yeah,
Holy.
very impressive gameplay from both players. Next round though, Dungo Bomber versus Dig Cheese, I believe.
This is gonna be a good one, yeah.
Oh no,
honestly,
sorry,
yeah.
Dungo Bomber versus Pikamu. Not Dig
know.
Cheese, my mistake. And yeah, I mean Pikamu, really good record so far, but 2 wins and 1 loss. But Dungo Bomber, one of the 2 current undefeated players in this tournament so far, along with S Clo.
I will say that Dungle Bomber's prowess has been seen by me firsthand. There was a time where Grandfather's Oil had messaged me, hey, do you want to play Tricky Towers? And Dungle Bomber happened to be over at my place at the time. So we did a little bit of a funny, and I messaged Grandfather's Oil. I was like, yeah, sure, we'll play. And I got Dungle Bomber on the computer, and he just played as me. And Grandfather's Oil was like, how are you so good now, Kyle? This is insane. Like you're stacking so much faster. And I was like, yeah, I'm just built different like that. So
Yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to
so
ban
funny.
you for account sharing on Tricky Towers. Sorry, I don't make the rules.
The smurfing goes crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, as Chloe says, I'm a Dungo Bomber supporter and a cowbell hater. So true.
but yeah, I'm really excited for this match and the next match. Dungo Bomber, very very powerful player, but honestly, Pikamu has definitely shown some crazy stacking chops. So
Showing some
Definitely
crazy Pika
nothing
moves
to
out
count them
there.
out for yet.
Yeah, they're in their Pika groove, honestly. The stacking is pretty Pika smooth.
Well, let's see if they can Pika use their power to their advantage. Or if Dungo Bomber will come out with the bumming.
It's bumming time for real.
Both players in puzzle mode, dropping very slowly. Dungo Bomber placing the O piece as an overhang, and yeah, you can tell that's like an experienced player. I wouldn't always imagine that to be a valid placement, but placing that O piece, of course, on the solid ground means that you are able to do those overhangs that may look very risky to an average player.
Ooh, honestly, very creative stacks from both players right now. I would not have thought of this for sure, but I don't know. Who do you think has the advantage so far?
I think right now, after that O piece toppled over, it's kind of Pikamu because an O piece toppling over like that is a bit risky, of course, on Dungo's side, especially since it's not aligned with the grid. But again, anything could happen, and I know Dungo Bomber is a very, very powerful player.
Also, what is this copy paste in chat? Oh my god, thank you, Cowboy SP. Dungo Bummer in his prime. His skill is immense. His stacks sublime. When he plays, the clock will chime. So check your watch, cause it's bumming time.
Yeah, and it's definitely bumming time for Mr. Pikamu. I just said Mr. Oh my god.
Mr. Pikamu is crazy, bro.
The double Pika round really getting to me, but yeah, and Dungo Bomber with that eyepiece placement with the vine going very wide here. That's like at least like a 9 wide. You don't see that kind of stack in Tetris. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, this is crazy stacking here. Oh, The stack shifted a little bit on Dungo's board, but I think it is still okay.
Yeah, it should be completely safe, especially if he does manage to connect both left and right side here. As you can see, it is a bit disconnected from between the O piece and L piece, but I don't think it's anything he can't handle.
Yeah,
of course, going for these risky
plays. No, I think Risk is generally the good option here, especially if both players are really, really good, because, you know, you want to at least try to go for the big wins, because if you play too safe, you might not get it.
And considering the unfortunate O drop, like, this is a completely impressive stack. It's definitely bumming time now.
Oh, yeah, Pikamu's trying to slot this SP somewhere, but actually plays out Z. Oh my, it's so hard without the colors.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, both players have a lot of pieces on the board, but I think Dungo Bomber gonna take this one by a big 4 pieces. 23 in puzzle medium. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, you think 4 pieces isn't a lot, but when it's like already in the 20s, it is crazy.
And of course, we've seen people win by 1 piece many times already, so.
Right.
Alright, going into survival special here. And Dungo already showing his experience with this game. Placing pieces at the speed of sound.
He might be the Fortisum of Tricky Towers for you.
Exactly, but let's see how he can handle these next few pieces. Wave 1 with giant blocks, always difficult to deal with. But that's actually really, really convenient placement for that Z. Looks a bit unstable though, so let's see if he can create the connection needed to stabilize that block.
Yeah, Dungo putting down the Zachary Tower right there on the side. Floating Island is going to be really, really good for accommodating more pieces right now.
Exactly. No rotation, not affecting either player much. Of course, it's annoying to deal with, but again, holes in the stack don't really matter at all, and gets the Vine to stabilize, so definitely out to a very scary lead here.
Even though there were no rotations, it could be time for Pikamu to turn the game around if they're able to keep the stack clean.
And it might be possible with these blocks, but unfortunately for Pikamu, actually fortunately for both of them, they both get the Jerry and are able to stabilize the stack very well. Unfortunately though, 10 pieces behind, now 12 pieces behind for Pikamu. It's a big lead to catch up on.
It is crazy that both these players haven't even lost a life yet, really showing the prowess of both players.
Yeah, we are really getting to the high level plays now. And unfortunately on Pikamu's side, I don't think this tower is going to get any higher. Very tragic stack, meanwhile Dungo's Dumber stack looking completely stable, and Pikamu gonna have to top that.
That is brutal. I don't think I've ever seen a oh my god, the 180 from Dungo in the winner's circle here. It's disgusting.
Just styling on the opponent.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
That, yeah. If my opponent did that to me, I'd be like, I think I'm done. I'm done, man.
No, I remember I would play against him in Grandfather's Oil, and I would just get 180 on all the time. It was so painful.
Yeah, definitely very intimidating to go against. Just like getting an O piece, that's the very first one in puzzle special. Not very fun to deal with.
Yeah, I feel like the 180 is the equivalent of sending a 20 spike to your opponent and then building the Among Us opener on your opponent.
Exactly. We're like, I don't know, it's like opening a Zen lobby afterwards on stream and building Among Us opener, honestly.
No, not like this.
Because like, you only do it after you've already won. Technically, if you send a 20 spike to your opponent and build an Among Us,
yeah.
like what if they dig out of it? Yeah, both players, very similar stack here. I almost wonder if Pikamu's doing the looking over strat.
You know what, it's board watching, it's totally legit. I hate it when people watch my board in Tetrio. It's so awful. I can't believe it.
Yeah. It's kind of cheating, honestly. Like, how can you see their board?
Right? It's like in chess. Like, if people have a mirror on the ceiling, you can see where the opponent's moving.
Yeah, stream sniping in chess to, like, see where they're placing their pieces.
Yeah, that's messed up, dude. Like...
Well, both players definitely seeing some more variance now on the pieces. And Pikamu, that's not going to stay on. Oh, it is, actually.
It is, yeah. The greed is paying off for us so far. Are they gonna put this T inside with a nudge? There's no way.
Yeah, you have to go for the double nudge there. I think it still pays off.
No, that's good. That's good. That was intentional.
Still solid stacking on their side of the board. And honestly, sometimes it's hard to tell if something will stay on or not. Like, Usually it's the rule of like if it's on a solid block and it's an overhang, it'll stay on. If it's not, it'll fall off. But
Right.
that JP stays on for Pikachu, so yeah.
I think Pikachu
Good
has a
fucking play.
lot of opportunities to just stack up real nice here, but it just completely depends on how they get this right side.
Yeah, and can't really find a good tuck into that notch on the right, but still able to tuck that J. So
It looks
We'll see if
fairly
that
strong,
continues.
though. It looks fairly strong.
and that T piece there to connect the left and right side gonna help a lot in terms of stability. Now little Bummer's board on the left, though that L piece looking a bit unstable. Nothing's gonna be able to stack on top of that, but the rest of the tower very compact. Exactly what you want to see in puzzle mode.
I think that so far Dungo does have this slight advantage with the bigger stack, but you know Pikachu's left side is still ripe for opportunity to build up a little bit more here.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
no! I would say that
no.
the left side topples down and sends Pikachu a little bit higher. Not what you want to see in puzzle mode.
Yeah, and Dungo might just get off that. Like I said earlier, the J piece, although it didn't fall immediately when it placed on, it was pretty unstable, and I think stacking on top of that, maybe too greedy of a move for Pikachu there. You believe Dungo is gonna take this one.
Oh, brutal!
25 blocks.
25 is crazy.
Yeah. Knowing exactly what your limits are when it comes to tucking and things falling over is a very powerful asset to have, and Dungo Bummer clearly showing their mastery over this game mode.
Yeah, honestly, Dungo might be trying to tuck Pikachu into bed with this. If they're able to close a couple more rounds, it could be over.
Meanwhile, I guess Pikachu looking for something to nudge their way back into the game, but it's gonna be looking tough. Dungo Bummer has a kind of unaccommodating stack, but it's not gonna matter. Gets the Jerry, covers up the hole, seals off the problem.
Yeah, it was a Jerry nice play there. Very nice. I'm never doing the commentator thing. Yeah.
Could go for some ice cream, like some Ben and Jerry's.
Okay, that's it. That's it. I'm doing the thing. Okay, wait. It seems like Dungo has a huge score advantage with the blocks here. This is crazy. 16 left, and Pikachu is 37. It's not looking good for them.
Yeah, I mean maybe Dungo doesn't need any ice cream to be completely chill in this match. At a 9-block lead, now 8-block lead. At this point, he really just needs to like slam blocks down. I said lead, but I meant that's how many blocks they have total. Their current lead is over 25 blocks above their opponent. Just going for the vine to kind of flex on them.
I saw Dungo Bummer's stack kind of swaying there. It was a little bit close, and I think that would have fell actually, but you know, doesn't matter. Going for the 180 yet again, and hitting it with some very smooth rotations.
This guy, very consistent with that 180. Very practiced with it. He always, every time I played against him, he always does that to me. So you can tell he knows what he's doing with the 180. Right. Now we go to Puzzle Easy. I think we've seen this island shape before, but... And a perfect top out from the Observer. Very impressive, actually.
I will see Observer is yet to make a T-spin. A little bit disappointing the fans in chat waiting for the T-spin, but you know, yeah, the main gameplay here is Pikachu versus Dungo. I get it.
We already see a bit of diverging paths from the player. Pikachu going for the S-piece overhang. Dungo going for the S-piece flat, and then the L-piece on top.
We'll see if I gotta say, I do like Dungo's stack a little bit more so far, just because it's a little bit more, not sustainable, like, supportive.
Accommodating? Yeah, supportive.
Yeah.
Pikachu does get the O-piece there, fortunately for them, because I feel like that O-piece could have become a long-term problem.
Dude, for the support, I wanted to say, speaking of support, you should donate to the prize pool by there, unfortunately. Next time.
Honestly, it's enough support just by having people watching here, so, again, thank you everyone coming out this far, and by this far I mean opening up your Twitch page and clicking the post, but it still means a lot to us. Helps us create bigger and better events.
Right. But yeah, speaking of bigger and better, it seems like both players are looking for even bigger and better ways to find this up stack here without getting a little bit too high.
Yeah, and that's a really impressive stack by Peekaboo, but... Oh, wait, can they land that tuck there to get one more piece? I think that's it for Peekaboo stack. Very impressive looking. Oh, no, this is greed. But I guess they do have the lightning, though. So if it does mess up...
No way,
Yeah,
Dungle Bummer.
huge clutch with that lightning, but...
Oh,
Dungle Bummer's board
that's
looking
insane.
so nice. You could have even gotten that eyepiece on the left.
On the right,
side there,
yeah. That's just greed, though. I don't know. I think it's probably...
Yeah, no point in doing that when... and a 3-point victory.
Holy,
honestly,
look at the top of that stack on Dungle Bummer's side. That's like...
Yeah, that's like a clean cut, you know, like
Wow.
you have like a lot of hair and they take like a perfectly smooth like sword and cut the top of your hair off or something. I don't know where I was going with that.
But speaking of hair, they're gonna be cutting it close. With this sprint here, is both players are going at a pretty fast pace. Seems like Dungle is gonna be ahead though.
Yeah, that half block shift looking a bit dicey, but yeah, not really gonna affect Dungle Bummer much when we're only 13 blocks away from the end, 12, 11 blocks away. At this point, you can just stride. Wow, survival. They call it survival, but it's really a race. Whatever it's.
No, it's like, can you survive against freaking Dungle Bummers offense here? Like that's the real thing. That's ridiculous. Oh my god.
Yeah, not letting off. Not like letting off the gas pedal even once doing that. And it's the 180 again. Oh my god, very consistent with it during survival.
Oh my god.
And he's gonna sweep this round. Wow, very impressive play from Dungle Bummer.
It is bum time. What is bum time gonna come from? Is that like the bus thing?
I think it was just like I think Morbin time was really popular.
Oh right,
at that point, and then it's fun to say something and then ing time, you know.
Yeah. You know, my favorite part in the Tricky Towers tournament was when Dungle Bummer said it's bummin' time and bombed over all the Tricky Towers.
Yeah, for sure. And Dungle Bummer definitely, from what I know, one of the strongest players going into this tournament. And as we just saw there with that sweep against Peekaboo, who's had a very strong showing so far. Another one of the most powerful players.
Hey, you know what they say? There's always a bigger fish, and both of these players are still pretty high caliber, but we have not seen the last of both of them as they're going into the second round here. Doey, what do you think that could be done to come back against the relentless offensive of Dungle Bummer?
Well, definitely one of the things you need to do is pick up the speed. Unfortunately, it's hard to like work on speed, especially against someone who's so experienced. But in modes like survival or race, I think Dungle Bummer is winning by like a very huge margin. And I think if you do pick up the speed and go for like more risky plays, you can pick things up against him if he's not expecting it. In terms of puzzle, it's going to be tough because he clearly has a very high mastery over that mode. But if he messes up, then you got to play very... you have to play both like risky and aggressive. Aggressive in the sense that like you can't have a low score, but risky in the sense that like... Or safe in the sense that like you can't mess up on your own because you're guaranteed to lose if you do so.
Right. Look at Dungle Bummer stack that huge like eye and a half gap in the middle. It doesn't even matter though.
Yeah, exactly. Having a disconnected tower like that in this game can be really risky, but if you're able to connect it off like you did there with that J piece, it's very, very effective. Yeah, he's just completely running away with it at this point.
I don't know if the Zachary on Peekaboo's side, the floating island, is enough, but it could be very, very helpful for fixing up the stack.
Yeah, it's gonna help the stability.
Dungle Bummer stack is leading.
Dungle Bummer stack.
Oh my god, it's shifting back and forth. It's looking very precarious. Dungle Bummer, no, the stack.
And
Dungle, oh
the
god.
aggressive playing has finally come back.
I will say, it wasn't even at
him.
the whole thing, the eye.
Oh yeah. That wasn't the main point of it. I think it was just like too tilted up at the top, and now Peekaboo finally in a position where he's poised to take this one actually. We're gonna get the island here, the Zachary as we've been calling it.
Oh no, the hole is finally caught up to them as it kind of falls off half the stack, but you know the island is gonna be great support for keeping up.
Yeah, definite island of stability here. Peekaboo didn't really need to go for that vine, honestly. Could have gone for the balloon there, just try to secure the win. But very close to the top now, and I think
wait,
one more
the
piece is gonna
placement
do it.
is huge.
But the eyepiece,
oh no,
an absolute tragedy. Oh, I expected that to actually close out the game. I think you can actually balance the Z piece on top of that eyepiece and be able to win there, but it's not gonna happen. And then right when they were on the cusp of victory, Tricky Towers God said, nope.
Man,
The tower topples and
the comebacks were completely insane for this one.
definitely a roller coaster of a round. Jungle Bummer gonna be able to close it out in the end. And yeah, those are the kinds of games I love to see in Tricky Towers. The big swingy, frantic race to the top. A good measure of like risk and reward. And yeah, see if we see any more of those risky plays in this puzzle special.
Yeah, I feel like both of these players have the capacity to make some huge creative plays, so I'm definitely looking forward to it.
He's going for some tucks here, and we see Jungle Bummer actually. You see, going for that L overhang or J overhang, sorry, at the bottom. Typically, you would see the 2 wide and think, oh, I tuck it in horizontally. But if you tuck it in like that, you actually have space to tuck in one more block right below it. For example, like this Z piece that you could go for.
Right.
Yeah, going for that's always a smart play. But of course, getting that stable platform like Peekaboo doing is also an option if you want to try to go wider. So it's all, again, it's a balance of play styles and how safe you want to play, how wide you want to play. Lots of things to think about.
Dungo going for this this nice little nudge here. It looks pretty even on both sides, but I feel like Peekaboo's right-hand side nudge is going to be a little hard to stack stuff on. I don't know. You feel the same?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you place the T flat and then can nudge something in over it to like secure it, it could be good, but we'll have to
like
see.
This, I see.
I think the best piece to nudge there would definitely be the I piece. Like that would create like a very flat, stable platform above the T, but
Right.
who knows? I think Dungo's board on the right is actually looking not the most accommodating, but there's still definitely like venues to go for. Like if you double tuck a T piece or something of the like on the right side.
Right.
Lots of options here. We'll see what the players decide to go for. Move on to, I guess, the mid game of this sort of puzzle mode. Is there really like a mid game and an end game when it comes to these modes? What do you think?
I mean, not really. I mean, if you're being like super, nitpicky, but I guess the starting part is technically your opener phase because if you immediately misdrop in something, right? Like for example, if you get a diagonal piece on your race, it's gonna screw you over. So that's kind of like your opener. But yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of mid game. There's not really much, quick blitz strats. It's just general stacking.
And okay, if we take a look at Peekaboo's board over here, you see that eye piece that's like tilted down. I think that's an instance of the game's physics being very punishing because obviously if this was like Tetris, right, you could slide a piece in there with no problem. But since that piece is tilted down due to the way the physics of this game are working, I don't actually think you can slide a piece in there safely without it like touching the eyepiece and like nudging it.
Right, because as soon as the piece
try
is
here,
touched,
though.
it... Oh
And-
no!
Oh yeah, that's tragic. As soon as the piece is touched, it goes out of your control. So
Yeah.
being in a situation like that, fortunately, it is able to get the T piece, but the center of mass. Things are
like we
always
said
tilting
before, though,
outwards.
the greedy plays could be the ones you need to win, but if it doesn't work, it could also be catastrophic for you.
Yeah, definitely want to be very measured when you take risks in this mode against such a strong player. And I think right now it's not quite paying off for Peekaboo and the nudge.
Oh no!
Yeah, if you are half a block off with your nudge, or if you nudge into something, it does cause it to bounce off. We haven't seen it much today, but it's usually not what you want to be doing.
That has to be tough for Peekaboo's mental. Like you're so close, and then bam, like suddenly you're behind, and then bam again. It just starts stacking up, and not in the way you want it to.
Yeah, but honestly, Peekaboo's board is still looking solid even after all those misdrops. And oh no, yeah, okay. I felt like they could have gotten one more, but
no, I think it was a misdrop. It was just so close.
Yeah. If they put it over slightly.
But unfortunately, I don't know if it matters, as Dunglemer is going to continue their reign of terror, taking another round.
It was very close, though. I do believe if Peekaboo didn't drop those 2 blocks over the edge, they could have fit him at least like 4 more blocks. So.
But now back at Channel 5 News, the forecast is still looking extremely windy, encouraging all citizens to stay indoors and avoid any kind of power lines. We could be seeing some outages from all of the windy weather here.
Yeah, but all our meteorological reports are saying it's bumming time, and Dungo Bomber not having lost a single round, at least from what we've seen. Currently a perfect record in the round robin as well. It's gonna be tough for Pikamu to defeat.
Dungo Bomber's
Miracles are
actually on his
possible.
like anime training arc run right now. This is crazy.
And getting the Jerry there for Pikamu gonna be very helpful, but in the race, sometimes using it for safety is not as useful. Of course, it is special race, so safety usually your #1 priority.
I would say that that's a good play for special race. I would play safer if it was me, but you know, the greed could be paying off for players that choose to make a slightly worse stack.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, obviously compared to an easy race right now, both players stacking pretty wide, which is always a good play in such a dangerous mode, especially with the wind and potential dark magic attack from the opponent player. That OP smash drop for Pikamu, I was gonna say very bad, but they do have the lightning magic to deal with it. Very fitting for a Pikachu once again. Yeah, I mean, Dungo Bomber at this point taking the lead, and with that extremely wide and extremely stable stack, I don't know if there's anything Pikamu can do to come back from this.
Yeah, especially with Pikamu's T-piece placement here. Not looking oh my god, wait, this is crazy, this is crazy. Pikamu
Like
is
the big
so
vine
much...
piece, could it pay off? And it doesn't really attach
Well,
to
honestly,
much, unfortunately.
it's the safe play, it's the safe play. I mean, it's good, but in this scenario, I don't know if that's the right play.
Yeah, like when your opponent is this far ahead with that stable of a stack, I think you just gotta slam things down as fast as you can.
Unless...
But, a mistake from both players though. That large piece finally falls.
Brutal on Pikamu's board. Disaster striking, but Dungo Bomber is striking even harder as to take another round yet again.
And it really shows like the amount of like mastery and technique there is to this game. Like obviously, again, there are RNG aspects, but the consistency that Dungo Bomber has in these modes, is, even if some things go wrong, is very, very amazing to see. Hopefully we see some more amazing plays in the puzzle medium with the vines.
Yeah, it might be puzzle medium, but the big brains are huge right here.
And already we see some different ideas for the gameplay. And we're placing the T-piece on the left, and placing the T-piece on the right. I guess you could go for a nudge under that T-piece, but I'm wondering how much counter weight you need on the side to prevent it from falling. I think that one is safe.
Nice.
Like an I-piece would have been very risky.
Yeah, very
I think I
smart
see
plays
Dungo's
here.
vision here. Going for the I-piece stuck afterwards, and goes for the
with
vine. This is a
Vine
very,
move.
very stable vine. Oh, unfortunately, it doesn't connect to the O-piece though. I feel like that probably would have been the plan.
Maybe it's something to do with the vine tuck mechanic. I don't really know how tucking would affect it.
Yeah, or I assumed it would have been like in contact with both pieces, but sometimes the detection can be very finicky. So. Yeah. It still works out very nice for him because having that like solid piece acting as like a cap over that sort of spike in the middle helps with stability quite a lot.
Speaking of stability though, it seems like Pikamu's vine placement is looking really, really strong, and it's allowing for their left-hand stack to do some work down there. It's pretty solid.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no Z-spin available in Tricky Towers. I totally would have gone for it there. Or I guess S-spin rather, but
No SOS kicks.
it would be crazy if this game had SRS.
Seems like Pikamu needs to go for the SOS instead, as they have finally finished, and it seems like Dungo does have the block with their stacking so far.
The SOS not gonna save them this time, unfortunately. We're taking this round again and expanding that lead ever so slightly. Trying to go for the double full sweep on this one. We've seen some close rounds. I believe Pikamu can take them. They're quite a strong player themselves.
Pikamu going for the comeback. This is their time. Race easy. If they stride it out enough, maybe it could happen.
Yeah, Dungo Bomber though has historically had the speed advantage in these matches, and Pikamu not really dropping anything. Dungo Bomber, of course, good sportsmanship, waiting for them to drop a block before continuing.
I respect it.
A lot of respect here for both these players.
see. Both the stacks are fairly equally healthy, but Dango Bomber, as usual, going with the speed advantage and getting very, very close to the top so far.
Yeah, that Jerry there really, really working out for him. A flat stack near the top, gonna be very stable. And having a flat stack like that is basically like a checkpoint. Like even if your tower falls, you'll always have that stone block.
Oh my
Really not
god.
gonna need the help there.
The sprint from Dango was absolutely insane. Might be the Usain Bolt of Tricky Towers for that one.
Yeah. I don't know if they have a Tricky Towers world record log, but if there was, I think he'd be definitely a challenger for race easy speedrun. How would a race easy speedrun actually look? I'd imagine it's just like spamming pieces vertically and hoping it doesn't fall. Hoping things don't fall, Pikamu. Hoping none of his pieces fall off the edge in this one. Attempt to take one. The Observer actually using a lightning here?
Oh, insane! But unfortunately, no T-spin from the Observer side for that one.
One day we'll see an Observer T-spin. Hopefully sometime during the next match.
I want to be observing those T-spins. But for now, we will be observing the match that's going on. Dango has some nudge potential here with this eyepiece, but so does Pikamu. A little bit more awkward, I will say, though.
Yeah, Pikamu stack. Not looking the most accommodating. That double nudge, I think it's possible to nudge like a eyepiece or L piece in there, but it's very hard to go for.
Right.
And usually it won't pay off. This single nudge though is actually gonna pay off, and I think it's a pretty smart move for Pikamu, but the rest of the stack is looking already very dicey, and I don't think this eyepiece can go anywhere. I think...
Oh, that's rough, yeah.
They're done.
No, yeah, I think Dango does close this out, unfortunately, for Pikamu. But, as we said, looking at the clock, it is Bummin time yet again. A perfect sweep from 2 rounds with some extreme dominance from Dango Bummer here. Yeah, they also called Dango Bummer TS7, and the 7 stands for how many sweeps they've done in a row. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit higher than 7, but I think the math checks out.
Oh, man. But yeah, in the meantime, I will take a very, very short break, if that is okay with production. But we will be moving into our final bracket of the round robin, I believe.
Yeah, in the final match, it's going to be an intense one.
But stay tuned for some more of that in just a second. But yeah, in the meantime, do we basically just chill for 1 quick sec?
Yep, no problem.
Gotcha. All right, I'll be back.
I think we're live. Yeah.
And we are back with the final round of the UBCEA Winter Series Tricky Towers Tournament. This is going to be truly an exciting one. The match for the ages. I believe we have the famed one we've all been waiting for, which is gonna be Dungo Bummer versus S. Chloe, aka Grandfather's Oil.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of lore behind this matchup because S. Chloe, aka Grandfather's Oil, aka honestly I don't know how to pronounce the first name. Someone can correct me on that, but she was actually the one to introduce, or I guess popularize, Tricky Towers on our BC Tetris server, and she was actually the one who taught Dungo Bummer all the tips and tricks and all the perks and all the strategies towards playing this game. And now I've heard she said she's feeling a bit scared because Dungo Bummer knows all the tips and tricks, and also he's a very fast player. But well, we'll see who actually manages to take this one, either the student or the master. So
absolutely.
I
will
exciting.
say that there is a very big rank discrepancy between the two players for Tetrio, which, as we said, doesn't quite always apply, but it is something to note. Dungo Bummer is, X rank, I believe, last time I saw them, and I believe Grandfather's Oil is maybe was it S plus or S? So there is going to be some stacking differences between the players, but overall, Tricky Towers is a completely different game. We're going to see how that works out here.
Yeah. Speaking of completely different, I do think the names right now at the top are completely different from what they are. Okay, there we go. We're getting corrected. Okay. Dungo on the left, Grandfather's on the right, and as we can see, already a very weird tower on S. Chloe's side. And yeah, that's gonna collapse. No. I didn't think that was stable. I was questioning myself because she's a Tricky Towers master. I'm merely a Tricky Towers amateur, but yeah, even I can see that tower is not gonna be sustainable. Dungo Bummer rocketing towards the top in blistering speed. Only a 4 wide tower, but
honestly, S. Chloe trying to stride for the Zachary there, getting the floating island, but it might be too late here if Dungo is able to close out the stack.
That floating island though can be very useful. And can she take a 2 wide tower to the top? Depending on the next power up, it could be good. A vine. I don't know if that's gonna be enough.
Oh, here, there's no way!
Actually going for the crazy play. Dungo Bummer goes for the rotation, but it's on the O. The O rotation doesn't do anything. It actually gets to the top first. There's no way. And it takes it
a second as the tower's falling over as Chloe takes the first round in a miraculous comeback.
Yeah, and this is true Tricky Tower mastery there. Going for that insanely risky play when you're behind and actually clinching out the win despite the disadvantage. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that as these matches go on.
That's insane. Alright, going into Puzzle Normal, we are going with, seems like no one is really doing any quick moves so far. Observer topping out very quick.
Both players very, very slowly considering. We're going from a honestly kind of whiplash from blistering fast gameplay to this slow and calculated gameplay. But when you're against an opponent that does know what they're doing, you do want to reconsider all your options. Yeah, definitely the biggest brain game mode again, especially with Divine usage. I want to see how both these players use Divine.
I don't know. I feel like S. Chloe has a little bit of an advantage here, just based on how many pieces are put down so far. But, definitely super close between both.
And it's hard to say, and as I say that though, Dungo Bummer kind of misses a T-tuck there, and that's going to put him on the back foot, I think. S. Chloe, I think, noticing this, step up the aggression with the play, also, but...
Is it S. Chloe or S. Chloe, or...?
I don't completely know.
I know it's Grandfather's Oil, so I could...
Grandfather's Oil is a lot of syllables. I'm just going by the Battlefly name, and oh no, a tragic fall for Dungo Bummer. Yeah, missing that tuck is definitely going to be tough. That T.
Honestly, it's wild though, because we saw Dungo Bummer literally sweep the competition in every other round, and now it's looking precarious as Chloe is even more in the lead for now so far.
Yeah, the Tricky Towers master herself, getting off to a strong start, but we'll see if she can handle the speed again. Back to a race, but did very well last time, but Race special is honestly anyone's game sometimes.
Yeah, we could be seeing the winds of change for this one.
Yeah, but I think both these players are capable of blowing us away, and already Dungle Bummer off to a very fast start.
Yeah, Dungo's really starting to build that stack more towards the, the left side here, just kind of compensating for the wind blowing.
Honestly, I'm very impressed that S tower did not like get blown over by anything, but I
Yeah,
guess the build on the left was able to block it off.
Oh, there is a huge split in Dungo's stack though from that S tower.
Yeah,
well,
but
S that is red. That's weird.
He's linked it up together pretty well with the Z or the L and J pieces rather, and I think that's gonna be very stable for the future. S-Clo though, very high up already, able to catch up in speed during that time. Dungle Bummer is noticing and might need to pick up some of that speed for himself.
Yeah, Esclo fixing a stair pattern with a TP is very nice play there. Getting super close to the top, but so is Dungo. It is truly anyone's game so far.
Yeah, definitely close so far, and might seem to be some connection issues. But Dungle Bummer during that time, I guess during the stop time has a rocketed to the top like a JoJo villain, and is about to take the round. But S-Clo actually takes it with the one piece close to the top even earlier. What a nail biter. Both players at the countdown, but S-Clo reaches that countdown just a second before Dungle Bummer.
S-Clo's stack truly standing proud after that one.
Well, we'll see if Dungle Bummer can take the punches and roll with the punches and move on to the next round. Puzzle special.
A lot of options for this first piece here. Seems like Dungo's going with the right side, and same with S-Clo. Both players perhaps copying each other? I'm not sure.
S-Clo going slowly. I think it's definitely worth seeing what your opponent's doing though, and playing as slow as you can in this though, but playing fast can also like throw off your opponent.
That's true. That's
definitely a lot of things. Like screen watching is part of the strategy, I in my opinion, for this game mode especially.
Like eventually someone has to make a play, right? So
if your opponent's playing too fast, you're gonna make a mistake. I think Dungle Bummer, very smart stack at the moment. The L tuck on the left to create a platform for the O to stand on very nicely.
Ooh, I'm really liking the eyepiece nudge from S-Clo here. Should be pretty strong in the later game.
There'll be some options there for that. While Dungle, will that eyepiece stay stable on the left? I do believe it will. Yeah, both players continuing to play fairly evenly. This O piece, I don't think it'll be look the best for Dungle, but he's got a lot of options.
Oh, S-Clo going with a pretty nice J-Tuck, and it's still staying in. I don't know if anything else can be accommodated on her right side, but we will see here.
Yeah, that J piece almost looks like it's about to like slip out, so I think it'd be risky for her to continue. And her stack, it's nice, but it's looking a bit unstable.
Wait, there's no way she's putting more on it? It stays? No way, this stays too, right? It does. I've seen it all. I don't even know it. Wait. Okay, no, it just moved. It's not gone. It's
both
anxiety
players definitely playing with fire here. It's like building a house of cards, but unfortunately.
Oh.
Okay, so the play S-Clo did there was when that piece started falling, she started dropping pieces as fast as possible. Because when the timer of the puzzle starts, any piece that fall down after will not push your build up, because normally any piece that falls down will push your build up. But if you see a piece in the middle falling, you can slam pieces as fast as possible in order to like save the rest of your build. So I think that's what she tried to do there.
Right.
Unfortunately for her though, I feel like Dungle Bummer's stack is quite a bit wider at the moment, but we'll have to see what the game decides. Hard to count all these pieces at once.
Oh, but it seems like those two pieces are going to be the ones that count for Dungle Bummer, taking his first victory against S-Clo here.
Yeah, the two piece is real, and hopefully you can get a few more wins here. Swinging the momentum back to the advantage, hopefully getting some win back into sales as we go into Race Easy, the fastest game mode, in my opinion.
Seems like Dungo. Oh my god, huge play from Dungo. A lot of giant hole, but doesn't even matter, of course.
That builds a box. Going for a vine play. This could be big. Not gonna use the vine quite yet. I think the amount of time it takes to use the vine might have been in his consideration, but a huge miss.
Oh no! Both players are misdropped. This is brutal on both sides, but you know it does mean they have an ability to make a comeback here. I think we got a little bit too overzealous with the easy race.
Yeah, you can definitely get like really nervous when you're in a situation where your opponent can just like get to the top extremely quickly. I think both players were kind of feeling some of that when they raced to the top. Really smart nudge from Dungo to push a block off his build.
Oh, Esco
tried to close it out, but didn't.
Trying to greed for it with the eyepiece, but unfortunately not working out. And the rest of Esco's stack
and Dungo, I think, takes this here. Vertical eye to solidify it. Good use of the lightning there to clear the O. And just, yeah, very excellent play.
Yeah, that one was big for Dungo. He really needed that. And I think they are almost neck and neck here.
Yeah, they are. One more win will put them tied, and honestly, watching those like high-risk, high-speed games is really fun because you never know what they'll do to try to close it out on their end. We did see like the nudge mechanic with a piece bouncing off it coming into really good use for Dungo there. Wonder if we'll see more plays similar to that as the matches go on.
I guess what we will see is like a mirror matchup for piece placements here. Oh, but never mind. Esclo choosing to zap away the S piece. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm sure she has a plan.
Yeah, using the zap early actually allows it to accommodate this piece. No, she's gonna put it on the left. Okay. I'm wondering what
gameplay,
piece.
But she's the pro. She's the pro. It's okay.
I wonder what piece she's gonna consider putting there next. The advantage when you are behind your opponent is if you do look at your opponent's board, you can see what pieces are coming up next.
Like the queue.
Yeah, your opponent is basically acting as the next queue for you.
Right.
But
all the more reason to go slow, I suppose.
Yeah, but that also means just splitting your attention with the opponent's board. And since, even though the gravity is slow in this game, pieces are still constantly falling.
Yeah.
Right now, Dungo's board looking absolutely beautiful. Very wide.
The extension on the left side is looking super strong right now.
Yeah, makes that eyepiece, puts it down to stabilize it, and honestly, I think you just... Oh, wait. Does that slide over? It goes flat. Replace the L as an overhang. Oh my, okay, that's a beautiful build.
Although, on the other hand, though, Esco is still trying to extend even farther, and it could work out in her favor if she's able to stack this smartly.
Yeah, what's nice about her stack is that even though it looks like physically smaller, there aren't any holes in the stack. Oh god! Wait!
Oh no!
I think some of those pieces like are counted though.
No, it didn't count in the count up.
Wow.
Maybe if it was like still up.
Barely. And yeah, that's gonna tie it up. It's up to this last round.
It's so close. This is literally anyone's game here, and we're doing it in survival special, the most brutal game mode in my opinion.
Yeah, both players neck and neck. Let's see if we can get a boom Tetris from any of them.
Boom Tetris for Dungo.
Yeah, it's crazy that we haven't seen a single Tetris from any player in this tournament. I don't know. Are we sure they're playing the game right?
Yeah, a lot of Korean stacking from both players. I'm not really sure why, but maybe they have some sort of plan skimming their lines.
What Dungo Bomber is doing right though is playing fast. Already quite a few pieces ahead of Esclo. We'll see if he can close this game out for himself.
Yeah, well, we didn't really miss much there with that play. Both players still continuing to stack up. Dungo Bomber does have the piece advantage here, but
I see that tower quaking.
Yeah, a little bit precarious perhaps, but this Zachary floating island is looking really good for Dungo.
Unfortunately, you cannot rotate the O piece or the flat I piece. Not gonna be too impactful on that end, but
but the Jerry play, the rock piece is huge for Dungo, allowing him to stay alive. Esclo with the island on the other side, looking very close for both players in the piece advantages.
The big piece, not gonna be the easiest thing to deal with, but actually, yeah, everything's working out completely in Dungo Bomber's favor here. Esclo's tower completely falling.
Oh!
And
Dungo has the vine boom, and that is gonna be it. Esclo hopping out too many pieces here, and a huge spin from Dungo. Oh my god!
Was that a 360?
I don't know, 360 no scope or something, but
think that
it
was a
seems like
360.
you know, yeah, that was ridiculous. Oh my god.
Yeah, and just like that game, despite the early lead, Dungo Bomber were able to turn it completely around and win in his favor. But again, that was very close, right? Like, we definitely saw some of us was like high skill potential there,
You know,
and I think we're gonna see a lot more of that soon.
we could be seeing the student become the master through this tournament, but I'm sure that Esco is not going to let that one slide, just like the blocks off of her stack. She's going to be coming back even harder for this next round here.
Yeah. We haven't seen a game go to 3 Super Cups yet, but I'm really hoping this one does. I love watching these two play this game. It's just completely different from like what I'm used to.
Yeah, Odoi, what do you think the biggest difference between the two players was for those games there? Because, you know, it was super close, but why do you think that Dungo Bomber is winning out?
I think Dungo Bomber. I definitely think nerves are a factor when you get to like the early matches, and the first few losses I think were like pretty unlucky on his part, like the piece falling or the T piece like being like slanted, but being able to keep your composure when it comes to these games and taking very measured risks, which I think he was able to, really worked out for him in these past 2 rounds, like building up high enough for all the race ones. And again, I think Dungo Bomber's puzzle gameplay is very good if he doesn't miss any tucks.
He's just that smart looking at Q. But yeah, honestly, I think that both players took a lot of risks, but I feel like in general, Dungo Bomber's just slightly worked out just that better. So perhaps, you know, Esco can either be taking a little bit less risks for that, or just, you know, try to be more calculated with it. Perhaps, I don't know. Both players struggling to find any advantage over their opponent for sure in both these matches, though.
Yeah, and I do believe these players are very closely matched, and definitely not counting Esco out at all.
Let's see. Oh, they have switched sides here, I believe. And Dungo Bomber at a very like minuscule piece of advantage. Only like 1. Actually, never mind. Not even 1. They're back to back with each other right now.
But getting that Jerry for himself is very favorable. But Esco's stack still looking very wide, still looking very stable. They're neck and neck in pace right now. It's completely even.
Yeah, I will say that Esco also has the island too to use whenever. I'm not sure why they're not taking it, but you know, could work out.
I think sometimes the island can be detrimental if it covers over a stack that's already smooth, so you don't really need it if your stack is already looking fine, but it's definitely helpful for stability. I think she could use this fine here to her advantage if she wants to, but again, the other thing about using these power-ups, right, is that they take time to cast. If you really want to like solidify speed advantage, it might be better sometimes to not use a power-up.
Interesting.
You have to like consider, is the advantage I'm going to gain by using the power-up worth it compared to like the time it takes to cast the power-up, especially in a mode where it's all about speed, and both players now dropping their pieces as fast as they can. I think Dungo Bomber's close to the top of the board though, but everything goes up now.
Oh my god, even though Esco had the terrific Tricky Towers timing, it seems like Dungo is going to be taking this round here.
Yeah, hits the 180. I think Esco there lost on lives, actually.
Did they?
There's no countdown.
Brutal. I mean, I don't think they had a choice, though, because Dungo just had so much, not even so much, just that minuscule piece advantage there, so, you know, props for attempting it.
So the advantage of building a high tower like that in survival is that the pieces that spawn will contact your tower faster, since there isn't hard drop, right? So the pieces will take time to reach the bottom. And building a high tower like that when you're in a situation where you need to slam down as many blocks as possible was actually very advantageous. Both players here, though, in this puzzle easy, gonna zap that O piece. Very hard piece to deal with in puzzle, obviously.
Yeah, I think O is just kind of not great because it doesn't really do much for you. Almost all the other pieces are either good for making notches or good for being a notch, like the items.
Exactly. Like every other piece, by the fact that they have like a single piece sticking out, means you can notch them into almost any one wide hole, except for the Esco gonna play quickly. Wow, that's a nice T piece placement. I don't think I would have taken the risk, but always good to see people go for plays like that.
I think that Esco just has a better understanding of the game, so they just kind of know, like, oh, this goes, this doesn't go, or yada yada, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes when I'm playing with her tricky towers, and then I'm confused about a piece, I'll be like, hey, does this piece fall off or not if I place it here? Just like asking. Almost every single time she's right. I think every single time she's right. I don't remember she's ever been wrong.
Yeah,
knowing exactly
it adds a layer to. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying knowing exactly the limits of your blocks will help out a lot. And honestly, I have no idea who's leading this game.
Ooh, a draw!
Yeah, it's a draw.
What?
It's a complete draw.
Oh my god. As a reminder, though, this is the grand finals for the round. Is it actually? Wait.
I mean, since it's round robin, there technically isn't a grand finals, but these two are the most powerful players. And since these two are, I guess, currently both undefeated record-wise, this is basically a grand final.
Right. But yeah, it's definitely very, very close between the two of them. And I feel like the uncertainty of blocks sometimes is also another layer of depth you wouldn't really get from other games like Tetrio, because, you know if you can make a T-spin or not. You don't always know if they can,
Yeah, the physics is very interesting. Did anyone see that nudge from Dungle Bomber to slot that misshapen L piece into its position? Wow, this guy is an expert when it comes to this.
Dungo is so fast with it, going for the stride and closing out the last few blocks that he needed just in time. Oh my god. And the 180, of course. Of course.
Yeah, that's insane. Honestly, survival. I just said race easy is the fastest mode, but survival easy really is the fastest mode with no dark magic to interrupt you. It's all stride, basically.
Yeah, I think survival easy is also cool because it just you can't waste pieces. Basically, you have to make sure you conserve the lives. Wish Ekpi in chat, how's it going? Let's see. How it's going for both these players is it seems we have a mirror matchup yet again. I'm sure they're both thinking about how best to use their Vine Boom here for the optimal placement. I think they're thinking about coverage, probably, right? You want coverage?
Yeah, ideally something as wide as possible for the Vine, because if you can get like a cap of sort over the pieces, it can be very effective. And yeah, both players almost playing exactly the same. I didn't even know you could do that with the corner touch, but
it is the mirror matchup. Interesting. I don't know. Do you think that they're watching each other for this? Like they're,
There's a chance, but I feel like they're both also like considering the best possible play. Is this Tetrio character system, basically?
Yeah, it actually is. So basically, this character's ability is called Tricky Tower, and what it does is that it makes your opponent be able to place pieces like halfway, like it is in Tricky Towers. So if they place it halfway, you just can't clear anything in the line.
Yeah,
that'd be so good.
We're finally seeing a divergence in the two players, and honestly, it's really tough to say who's gonna take this one. Is it?
I think Dungle might have this. No, I think it's a draw. I think it's a draw.
Wait, no, you might be right. I think Dungle's.
One piece! That is insane! Oh my god, the one piece is real, and it seems like Dungle Bomber has found it, going with an insane lead. S-Close really gonna have to work hard to come back from the score deficit and raise special with the wind picking up as well as the pace of the game. This is truly what we're here for.
2 wins for Dungle Bomber, and he wins this entire tournament. Very, very crazy gameplay, honestly, and S-Close might be feeling the heat. Going for the wide
heat, but neither player is going to be breezing ahead from the other so far.
Yeah, no one seems quite winded just yet. They're still operating at full power. Got the wind in their sails. But person who has more wind right now does seem to be Dungle Bomber. Climbing a lot faster. The tower looking very stable still.
Wait, this might be the fastest special waste we've ever seen so far.
Yeah, and that tower collapse on the left side there for S-Close, very tragic. It's looking just completely stable. I'm wondering if you ever like dark magic here, but a slight tower collapse on S-Close side. But wait, gets the island so
oh my god! No way! The island clutch! This is not real. Are we seeing this? Oh my god, what?
Yeah, a genius play from S-Close there. So building up high and then spawning the island will always spawn like above your pieces, right? But since you built up high and then spawned the island, even though that tower collapsed, by manipulating the island spawn position, she actually is able to like get that island really high so she can build off it. Oh my god, Zachary, big clutch.
No, that is actually an anime play right there. Like, don't lie to me. That's straight up something someone would pull
Like
in an anime.
that is not like that's just something I've never thought about doing. It's like the play you can do with the stone piece by like dropping it what's it called, like placing a bunch of pieces really high and then dropping the stone piece on top of that tower, so you have the island floating on top. Basically a very similar kind of play.
Ooh, very interesting plays from Esclo here. I wouldn't have done this, but I feel like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think what's going on here is basically fishing for some very, very greedy tucks. Like, doesn't want to tuck those pieces, wants to tuck the flatter piece, like the I piece or the L piece, so you can go wider potentially.
Right, I see.
But that basically just means you have no room for error because you drop one piece and that S piece will immediately contact the top.
Hey, you know what? I think that Esclo has that penchant for the greedy, risky plays, as we saw in the round before. And you know what? It paid out last time, so maybe it will happen this time.
And oh, that O piece. I can't believe she went for that, honestly. It's definitely the most precarious stack. I think Dungo prefers to play this round a lot more wide.
I mean, definitely nothing wrong with that, you know. Shoutouts for wide. No, I mean, but just having a wider stack allows you to accommodate a couple more pieces and just let you have, you know, a better time stack in general.
Yeah, for sure. And unfortunately, I don't think any more pieces can go on that left side for Esclo. I'm seeing that tower shake a bit when she put that Z piece on. And I feel like any more disturbance there would cause that entire thing to go flying. But oh my god, what a tight T for this one. I feel like if that T tilts a bit more, it touches the top, but
yeah. It's close between both players. I can't really tell who has the advantage, but the stacking on Esclo's right side is just ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
clearly
players.
Stacking in all the right places, am I right?
Yeah, you are definitely right, right about that one.
Dude, it's time I left for all of the puns. It's so bad. But what is good is the stack from both players. I truly don't know who has the advantage right now.
Yeah, neither player really wants to be left behind in the dust here, but oh my god, that right side is feels like it's about to collapse for Esclo. Esclo's gonna end it here.
No, Esclo just hard. I saw that. Like the immediate hard drop or soft drop, I guess.
I guess fast drop would be the term.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't really know who takes this. Dungle Bomber looks like he has a lot of pieces, but Esclo is very compact on the right side. But
let's see who is able to make it count.
Oh my god, he wins by one!
One block! Oh my god. That might have denied Esclo the comeback there. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see.
I think Dungle just wins here. I don't think Esclo can come back from this point deficit, and
I'm not sure, but Esclo is definitely gonna fight out for the end here, regardless of the score.
Let's see if she can take one more in this last race. What a dominant showing from Dungle Bomber, though.
You know, honestly, the comeback arc is, or not even comeback, the training arc has been insane from Dungle Bomber. You know, learning under Grandfather's Oil or Esclo's guidance. Wait, what is the stack? Oh my god.
On the left
Among
side,
Us?
honestly,
Pseudo Among Us?
it's like a really tall C-spin, you know?
Tall C-spin. Yeah, I see it. T-spin triple.
If you have like a giant T-block, maybe you can hit a T-spin triple. I think Esclo takes this one. The vertical eyepiece is not in range. It's gonna be in range.
Wait, what? Oh, that's weird.
One? Oh, there it is.
Wait, what? Barely. The immediate clutch right there was exactly what you needed, but I think that could be...
Yeah,
that is GG's for Dungle Bomber. I don't know if they... I'm pretty sure they take the championship, but I just don't want to say...
Yeah, that is the last round, so... Because it's best of 2 Super Cup, and they are gonna win this one.
Congratulations, super huge congratulations to the trickiest tower stacker, which is Dungo Bomber for the Tricky Towers tournament. Oh my god, truly a wild ride, but you know, fantastic showings from everyone that we have seen this afternoon.
Yeah, congrats to Dungo Bomber for taking the Tricky Tower tournament trophy there.
Is there a trophy?
Or no, I mean the Super Cup looks like a trophy. There's no
Okay.
a physical trophy, but
Right. You know what? It's the clout and it's the prize pool. That's the important part. But yeah, honestly, fantastic gameplay from both players at the end there.
yeah, for sure. Definitely a case of the student becoming the master in that last round. I think both players definitely played their heart out. Esclo, of course, getting off to a scary lead in that first round, but Dungo Bomber able to take it back. And yeah, like it was so close though. Like we had 2 draws in that last Super Cup. Like that's insane, honestly.
Hey, you know, give it to S-Clo to keep it S close right there.
Yeah, but unfortunately not quite enough to close out the game for her. But still, she is gonna win the second place prize, I believe, with our huge $50 prize pool.
Let's go. You know what? Honestly, that's solid. Also, I need to put the card pasta back in. Here we go. Dungo Bomber in his prime. His skills a miss. His stack's sublime. When he plays, the clock will chime. So check your watch, because it's bumming time.
Congratulations to both Dungo Bomber and Esclo for winning the first and second place prize respectively. I believe that's a $25 and a $15 prize for them. So they're
Oh, let's
paid
go,
back for
let's
the Tricky Towers. Third place, I believe, not quite decided yet. The other 2 players are still playing. It's between Dig Cheese and Peekaboo.
Honestly, that would be a close one. Both of those guys were very solid when they played. But, you know, may the best player win for sure.
I guess with that being said, thank you everyone for coming out to watch the tournament. Honestly, given the short notice, it was really nice that we got this many signups and we were able to run the round robin tournament. And I think I had a lot of fun for watching, to watch like these high level tricky tower players like go all out against each other. I never thought I'd see some of those plays, like those nudge plays with like nudging pieces off the top or like clicking or clipping things together using those items. That island play by Esclo was genius to close out that one race. So good.
Yeah, honestly, the Tricky Towers tech is nothing to be to scoff at here. You know, I've never thought of using those things in that way. But you know, maybe in my next game, I'll be doing a little better when I actually play people.
Yeah, a lot of tricks up your sleeve whenever you're playing this game. That's for sure.
Right.
Alright, well, I do think that's it for this tournament on stream. Those are our top 2. If they top 3 do finish out in time, we can announce this. And yeah, Dig Cheese just posted their match in Battlefy, and they have won their match. So I do believe that is going to be a win for Dig Cheese, which means he will get the 3rd place prize for our tournament.
Let's go! Congrats, Dig Cheese! Man.
But
Instead
once again,
Dig
thanks for
Cheese, it should be
anything.
Build Tower. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but well, I guess you can't really do any digging of cheese in this game, can you? Like,
Yeah, there's no downside, none at all. You'd think I'd like Tricky Towers more. But yeah, sorry, you're saying.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you for everyone coming out, signing up, and thank you for coming out to watch our first UBCEA Tetris event, Tetris-related event of the year. And yeah, it was nice. It was nice to calm again. I haven't commentated in a while, honestly, so. You know, nice to get those vocal cords warmed up.
I thought you were gonna say I haven't commentated with you in a year. I was gonna lose it, dude.
Yeah, I haven't commentated with you since last year, Cal. That's crazy.
God,
I said I was gonna say it. So...
End the stream, get me out of here.
Yeah, I guess is there anything else you want to say before we go here?
You know what, honestly, all I gotta say is thank you so much to everyone who came out and supported or is playing or just, you know, was in chat watching. You know, it's great to see people supporting these kind of local events for us. I know it's definitely not as big as other things you might have seen, but we're here to have fun. We're here to help support the community. So thank you so much for coming out and checking us out, and hope to see you in the next one. Maybe Plu could say a few words.
Hi guys. So yeah, thank you to everyone for watching, and of course thank you to our commentators Cowbow and Doey, who did a fantastic job. I think this is their first time ever commentating Tricky Towers, and yeah, Tricky Towers in general is a really new thing that our Tetris department tried. So thank you also to the participants who came out to play this game that's like obviously not really the kind of Tetris that we play. Like most of the time it's just Tetrio. So I hope you all had fun. Another thank you to our UBCEA's general sponsors, TELUS and Gen G. Thank you for all your support. Yep, and that's all I want to say. And congrats to the top 3, Dungo Bumper, S. Clo, and Dig Cheese, who will be winning $30, $20. Wait, $30? Wait, what was it again? Let me check.
It's $25 for first and 15 for second and 10.
Yes, you tell him. Wait, no, it's $25 for first place, $15 for second place, and $10 for third place.
Yeah, 10. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
anyways, yes. You will be contacted shortly to receive your prize. Anyways, yes, now that's all that I wanted to say. Yippee! Thanks, guys.
Let's go.
See you
Thank
next
you again.
time.
All right. Bye, everyone.